Hey there, welcome back to Fantasy Endgame. We're here to answer your questions and get you ready for week 4, which is really not that far away because we got football tomorrow. 24 hours, we're going to see the Cowboys take on the Giants, which will be an interesting matchup. Might be a
Yes.
might be a get right spot for Dallas, or it could just sink Cowboys fans deeper into the abyss already. You never know. And honestly, I feel like this season we really never know. And somebody made the comment yesterday, like, is it just me or is this like the craziest start to a season? And I talked about it a little bit. I still kind of feel like it is.
Yeah, it's definitely up there, one of the craziest starts ever to a season. Like I was thinking about like the first round of fantasy drafts. Christian McCaffrey hurt. CeeDee Lamb has just been like okay. Tyreek Hill lost his quarterback. Amon-Ra St. Brown has just kind of been okay. Okay, Jefferson's been good. Chase finally had a good game. Reese and Bijan, I guess, have been good. AJ Brown is hurt. Puka Nacua is hurt. Garrett Wilson's been bad. Like, who did you really draft in the first round that you're like, oh, I'm so glad I got this guy. Like half the first round has been or more has been wrecked already.
The first round is wrecked, and of course, the entire position of tight end is wrecked. The two topics I know we have to talk about at some point. We still have a ton of questions about. I just really don't want to even address is number one, the Dolphins quarterback situation and that whole offense, and number two, tight ends. Um, but we do have to talk tight end, and it's funny because the one guy we're like, well, hey, at least you got Dallas Goddard, you're good. And then of course, why wouldn't he show up on the injury report? So what is the deal that is this? I mean, I know it's only Wednesday, but still, is this like he just put in so much work, like he'd
Yeah.
never seen that much before? That was his career high, wasn't it, in yardage? I mean, it's like he used it all up in week 3.
Yes. From what I understand, he was on the sideline, just in uniform, just not doing anything. I'm guessing it was just a rest day. They're just like, take it easy today. Like, we can't afford to lose you too. Like, my worry for Dallas Goddard missing this game is a zero.
Okay, but that's probably what it is. Like, look, we cannot afford to not have you out there because
Right.
as far as receivers, like whatever. I mean, know who they're going to suit up behind Jahan Dotson and like Johnny Wilson. Probably have to figure that out, but I don't think it matters. Okay, but anyways, you got Dallas Goddard, you're good. Every other tight end, probably not. So I know we'll get a lot of questions about that. Let's see. We do have an interesting possible development, although I don't know how interesting it is. We were talking about the Chicago Bear run game. So DeAndre Swift, of course, has been bad, and I will say I don't think it's all his fault. Anybody who's seen the Bears highlights of their offensive line would probably agree. But it seems like he might be taking a seat, or at least more of a back seat. So Rashawn Johnson does seem like an interesting pickup, but he's still running behind that same offensive line. So what is your interest level in Rashawn Johnson right about now?
My interest level is I definitely would grab him off the waiver wire if you're in a deeper league. Um, why not? Why not? I mean, if he gets more run this week, hey, great. I mean, maybe you don't ever have to start him, but it's nice that you have him because it's a running back position, and you know there might come a time this season you just need a guy that you know is going to get the touches. And look, Rashawn Johnson was actually, I mean, we can say that like, okay, yeah, DeAndre Swift, it's the offensive line, but like Rashawn Johnson was actually pretty good. I mean, okay, 3.8 yards per carry, but that's still significantly better than DeAndre Swift has been.
True.
So
Well, maybe just a different look back there. Who knows? I mean, we both like Rashawn Johnson a decent amount, coming out of UT, and he just never really got an extended look last year. And this is what always concerned me, not just about Swift, but this entire Bears backfield, was that it wasn't going to be ever just one guy, because they have, Eberflus just has a habit of using committee. He seems to like either the committee slash hot hand approach. In other words, there will never be just one guy. And for example, even so far, Khalil Herbert's been the guy getting all the carries inside the 5 yard line. Have you seen? He usually got those, vultured those touchdowns. So yeah, the upside is limited even besides the fact that the offensive line looks horrible, but he's a running back. He's getting touches. I mean, there's that. So, and he's a pretty good pass catcher. Herbert doesn't really get used as a receiver. Rashawn Johnson will. So this is a name that's kind of surfacing. Again, not tripping over myself to pick him up, nor should you, but he's usable. You need a running back. He's in a position where he could succeed. So, some changes happening, change not happening at quarterback for the Raiders. That's been confirmed. Some people were maybe not worried, but curious as to whether Gardner Minshew was going to get benched. Not yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens eventually, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, what if he struggles again? Which, look, it's Gardner Minshew. It's not out of the realm of possibility. So I think it's certainly I think at some point this year we're probably going to see Aiden O'Connell start a game. Actually, I really do.
Yeah, I do. I mean, Minshew is supposed to be like the safe pick, like a placeholder, and if he could keep them in games and win, then it would be fine. And look, they at least have won, but not last week. We'll see. I think if he continues to lose, then the leash is going to get shorter and shorter until it just is let go. And then on the other side of it, I think a lot more people in fantasy specifically are really going to ask, do we think going forward, Jaden Daniels is legit enough that he's just going to be a QB1 rest of the season? I mean, top 10 for fantasy, at least not the QB1, but the way quarterback even has looked, some guys not playing at an elite level for fantasy so far, like Mahomes, like Hurts. If you have Jaden Daniels, you just be happy and say, he's my guy.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I still think he's going to be very volatile. There's going to be weeks like in week 1 and week 3 where you feel really good. You're like, yes, I'm so glad I had him. But then you're going to have weeks like week 2 where you're like, he was just okay. But at the same time, that's a lot of quarterbacks. That's a lot of players. Let's just be real. It's a lot of fantasy players. I know right now there's some players out there that you're like, this guy's been great every week. It's 3 weeks. Don't worry, he's going to have some down games. It's going to happen. But how many quarterbacks have the upside of Jaden Daniels? How many quarterbacks can do what he can do? Throw for a decent amount of yards, throw for a touchdown or two, but also run for a good amount of yards and run for a touchdown or two. Very few, right? I mean, I'm not saying he's on the tier of Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, but he's that type of quarterback, right? Who can give you good passing numbers with good rushing numbers, which gives him an elite ceiling. So I just don't see how you could ever. I mean, look, sure, if he's in some terrible matchup or something, maybe you consider it, but the ceiling is so high. I don't see how you could ever really bench Jaden Daniels if he is your QB1.
Yeah, exactly, that upside, which I thought Anthony Richardson would have, and he hasn't. I mean, he did in week 1. He hasn't in week 2 and 3. I still think it's too early, to condemn him permanently. But I don't remember too. He's essentially almost like a rookie because he only played a few games last year. So it's funny because everyone's all in on JD, but out on AR.
Well, I mean, the difference is, I think there's 2 differences. Number 1, AR looks terrible throwing, but number 2, AR isn't running. That's the real issue with AR. He's not running. Give us that rushing. Like I said, I think I said this last night. I don't need to see him go out there and look significantly better as a passer. I mean, that'd be nice. I need to see Anthony Richardson run the football. I need 8 to 10 rushes from Anthony Richardson. This 3 or 4 rushes for 20 yards is not why we drafted Anthony Richardson.
All right. Well, we still have plenty of football left. We'll see what happens. They didn't wait too long today.
No, they didn't. It's not an endgame stream until the dogs bark, so
Anything else that we should know about breaking today?
Well, I mean, I will say there's a couple guys that returned that could be back in your fantasy lineup. George Kittle limited today, so maybe you're going to get George Kittle back this week. That would That would obviously be good for people who have George Kittle. It would also probably be bad for everybody who's relying on Juwan Jennings to have another 40-point game. Also, Keenan Allen limited in practice today, so he may be back off that heel injury. So,
As someone who didn't really have Keenan Allen, I don't think you do either. Kind of don't want him to come back because
right.
DJ Moore and Rome Odunze both are in line to potentially have huge weeks this week. I kind of just would prefer Keenan Allen to sit this one out just to make sure that happens. Everyone who's got Cole Kmet picked him up after last week probably feels the same way. So let's see exactly how much of a wrench he throws into those plans. But good for him. Glad he's back. All right. Well, I know you guys got questions. We got answers. We're going to do our best to help you. Start, sit, waiver wire, trade, whatever. Anything you could throw at us, we'll handle it. You know how this goes. We'll be here for a good long while, and so we will do as many questions as we can. If you want to absolutely guarantee that your question gets answered, that super chat feature is for that purpose. We will definitely answer every super chat we see. Of course, if you have that membership, you joined on YouTube, we'll get to most of those, hopefully all of those. And then we'll try to do some others as well. There is another way if you're not getting in on the super chat action tonight. There's another way you can reach out to us, which I will get to right now. And that is our app. It's called Draft Lane. And so Draft Lane is the way that you can get in touch with us when we're not streaming live. So all throughout the day before this stream went live, we've been answering questions from you. Again, start, sit, waiver wire, who to pick up, who to drop, advanced trade questions. And it's actually nice because not only do you not have to sit and wait your turn on the live stream, but also you can ask it at any time of the day. And we can probably get a little bit more in-depth sometimes into your responses. So just check it out. If you haven't already, try Draft Lane. It is free to download. Go to your App Store or Play Store and see what it's all about. And then right now, still limited time. If you sign up right now and you use Draft Lane, you get a little credit there, $10 used to your account. That covers a couple of questions right off the bat. So that's definitely something to consider. And of course, you should already know, but if you don't know, and we do have a lot of new viewers throughout this early part of the season, so glad to have you. Maybe you don't know, we're still partnered with Underdog, and if you do sign up for Underdog for the first time, you get a couple of goodies there for being a new customer. First of all is that free pick before tomorrow night's game. You get Dak Prescott just going higher than 0.5 total yards. If Dak gets a yard, you win this pick. That's a freebie for you. You can combine it with any other pick, and very good chance to win. But make sure when you do sign up, if you are a first-time user for Underdog, when you first do sign up, use code NGAME, and that gets you your free pick plus the deposit match up to $1,000 worth of bonus cash. That's probably, I'd say, just as good, maybe a little better than the free pick. So definitely consider that. Look, if you haven't tried Underdog, see what everybody is talking about. It's the fastest growing sports site out there. So try Underdog now. Just make sure you use code NGAME when you do sign up. All right. Now let's get to the questions we have on here.
All right.
Let's start with the first super chat. Tony Thomas in a 12-team PPR league. It says flex, pick one. And I'm really curious how many Juwan Jennings questions we'll get, which is totally understandable. Here's JSN Jennings Singletary. It's PPR.
Oh man. Well, I'm just gonna say right now I'm eliminating Jennings. I know it's like, how do you bench Jennings after last week? But yeah, I'm not. Look, if he does that again, okay, I'll apologize to everybody and say Jennings is for real. But again, we may have Kittle back this week as well. That hurts. That could definitely hurt his upside a bit. And it's not a good matchup this week. For the 49ers or for Juwan Jennings. So JSN is definitely one I like this week. But man, I really like Devin Singletary this week. Devin Singletary, you look at it here, the Cowboys giving up by far the most fantasy points to running backs. They've been torched They've been torched. Alvin Kamara went nuts against them. Derrick Henry went nuts against them. They have not stopped anybody on the ground. Devin Singletary, 16 carries each of the last 2 games. He gets targets, so he's not like he hurts you in PPR. Man, I think I'm actually going Devin Singletary here. It'd be very hard for me to bench Singletary this week.
This is a tough one because in different ways, I like all 3 of these options. I mean, I do like JSN this week. Obviously, put him as a boom. I do think Jennings is definitely flex worthy. Singletary might be in the best matchup, but it's PPR and he's running back. It's like, man, I feel like highest ceiling is JSN. I feel like highest floor is actually Singletary, and then Jennings is like, who knows? So I would say you're probably the best pick here is Singletary, because I don't want a repeat of JSN's last week. I was big on JSN last week too. Just admit that.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because I really like JSN this week, and I think JSN. I think I agree. Like, JSN could have the highest ceiling here, kind of like what we saw in week 2. But I think Singletary's floor is so high this week that it's like, do you really want to risk that ceiling when you can just have a guy who has like probably a 15-point floor this week with Singletary? Because if he's going to get 16 plus carries, and a handful of catches against his Cowboys defense, the way he's looked this year, he's looked great. So
yeah. I mean, I could make a case for all 3 of them, but I think the smart move here is Singletary, and then Kincaid or Goddard. I mean, you're assuming Goddard plays.
I'm going like, if AJ Brown and Devonta Smith are out, which is what it's trending towards right now. Obviously, it's Wednesday. We don't know. I can't sit here right now, Tony, and tell you like, hey, for sure, AJ Brown and Devonta Smith aren't playing this week. But that's how it's trending. If they're both out, I think Dallas Goedert is my tight end 1 this week. Like, who would you start over Dallas Goedert? Like, are we worried that Jahan Dotson or Johnny Wilson or whatever other wide receivers they have are just going to soak up so many targets from Dallas Goedert? Like, we saw last week, right? We saw last week that he's gonna be the focal point of this offense. So, yeah, I'm going Goddard.
There's no tight end I can even think of I would put over Goddard this week. Yeah, it's Goddard. If Goddard plays, it's Goddard. And I can't imagine Devontae Smith plays. I mean, it was a pretty hard hit. He was down for a while. Concussion protocol, are going to be careful. Yeah, I think it's just Goddard. All right, Tony, there you go. And then Juice is here, 14-team PPR. All right, here is the squad. Let's see, any changes? Talk about Jerome Ford. I think he popped up today on the injury report. I don't know how serious that is, though.
I feel like he misses every Wednesday practice. Again, it's Wednesday. I think I put this in the Discord like a few years ago because people, we had a lot of people in the Discord who were maybe new to fantasy football or just in football in general and weren't used to seeing people post like injury reports, right? Because if you go on our Discord, you will be up on all the news. You will know all the guys who didn't practice. It's in there. It's in there like instantly. It's like, this guy didn't practice. This guy was limited. So I had to let people know, like, okay, here's how it works. Wednesday is almost meaningless unless it's somebody that like got hurt, of course, or is dealing with an injury. Because a lot of times they'll rest guys, or guys will be limited because it's like, hey, you just played, right? It's Wednesday. Thursday, if they don't practice Thursday, that's when you start getting a little concerned. That's where it's like, okay, this could be an issue. If they don't practice Friday, that almost certainly means they're not playing. Like 9 times out of 10, they're not playing. So don't worry too much about the Wednesday practice reports for the guys that are healthy. Now, of course, for the guys that like A.J. Brown, it's like, okay, you want to see those guys back at practice. So I'm not really too worried about Ford here. But anyways, any changes? Ford, Mason, Harrison. Got to start Harrison this week. I mean, obviously, if Ingram's out again, you're just going to throw Strange in. That's fine. That works. Oh, man. Okay. I know it's hard not to play Jennings after last week, but Michael Wilson is actually in a really, really good spot this week. But you know who else is actually in a really good spot this week, and actually all signs are pointing to like an Amari Cooper type game? Christian Kirk.
Kirk did something last week.
He's still Texans 23rd against wide receivers out of the slot. They're terrible. He's got a great matchup out of the slot. And he's currently 15 points below his expected fantasy points. That being said, I guess just roll with Jennings. But, man, I really feel like Jennings is a trap this week. Maybe I'm wrong.
He'll be okay. He'll be somewhere in the middle, right? He still has touchdown upside for sure. Again,
true.
Debo almost surely out. Kittle, we don't know. That's the thing. But I would say this: I'm iffy on Ford, not because of the knee or not the knee, just that whole offense and his usage. It's okay, but I just don't feel like there's enough ceiling there anymore. I mean, if you got Gibbs, it looks like as a flex. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, I was looking at that.
I mean, I'm putting Gibbs at running back, and then I would just flex either Kirk or Michael Wilson.
Yeah, actually, that's probably the smart move.
All right. Speaking of Ford, this is interesting. Senor Rojo, is Ford a good trade for Jonathan Brooks? Who that was? I don't know if it's news, but they're like he's getting ready to sort of come back.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you don't need Ford, you can go get Jonathan Brooks. But look, if Chuba looks like this again, if Chuba keeps running like this, I mean, what is Jonathan Brooks' role going to be when he comes back, right? If Chuba's playing well like this when Brooks comes back, like, what's the rush? Like, what's the rush for the Panthers? Like, it's not like, oh, the running game needs help. It's like, no, the running game was great. But I do think Brooks has more potential upside, so I'd probably take Brooks here, unless you need Ford. If you need Ford, don't trade him all.
Yeah, if you're shallow at RB, but otherwise, look, I'll bet on the long-term upside because I think second half of the season, I'd rather have Brooks here. All right, we got Jay House. Half PPR needs one running back, two receivers, and a flex from these: Mason, Etienne, Ford, Monty Higgins, Jennings, Dell. Thanks.
Okay. Mason is going to be my running back. I guess Higgins and Jennings, and I really want to start Tank Dell this week too. He's also in a big bounce back spot this week. I know he didn't practice today with a chest injury, so I guess we'll have to monitor that. But man, I just feel bad. Like, I just feel bad, telling people to bench Jennings after what he did last week.
Oh, you don't feel bad. I mean, I would not feel bad. I would say it might be worse if you're like, you have to start Jennings. You have to. There's no way you can, and then he does nothing. I mean, we know not to expect that again or something close. I think he's still startable. He is what I thought he would be before last week. A flex with upside who could score a touchdown, get you some yards, the 70, 80, that's what I thought. I think that's still reasonable this week, still within play. I'll tell you, hold your shock and awe, but I prefer Jennings over Higgins. I know Higgins is in a good spot. I would trust Jennings probably more than Dell. Dell's been very limited.
Yeah, I guess just go Higgins and Jennings. It's not like I feel great about Dell. Like, yeah, he should bounce back this week, but we said that before. So Higgins and Jennings, and then I think you got to flex Mont. I think even over Etienne, I'm flexing Monty at this point. Fine, I give up. David Montgomery is inevitable. He's going to score a touchdown every week. It doesn't matter. I give up. Just start Monty.
There you go. There it is. All right, Alex B. Pick 2. Devontae Smith, probably not going to play, but yes, if he plays, Pickens, Pittman, Jason.
Yeah, Smith plays, he's in there, but let's assume he won't. Pickens and JSN. Pickens and JSN. They have the upside here. Pittman, man. Yeah, just let me see Anthony Richardson look serviceable first. And not a good matchup for Pittman this week at all.
No, it's even worse. It wasn't great last week, and it's even worse this week. So there you go, Pickens and Jason. Frosty, good evening. Please pick 2 receivers, 2 running backs into flex: Jefferson, Godwin, Cooper, Kirk, McLaurin, Etienne, B-Rob, Najee, and Sharps.
All right, the running backs are easy for me. It's Etienne and B-Rob. The wide receivers are going to be hard. I mean, I think you got to start Jefferson and Godwin, but then, like, man, these flexes are tough. This flex is going to be tough. But I'm going back. I know Terry looked great last week, but so did Cooper. But I'm going back to the well with Cooper. Despite Cooper booming last week, he still looks like a huge boom candidate again against the Raiders. So I'm going Cooper, but I think Terry is also fine. Cooper or Terry at the flex. Cooper for me, though.
Yeah, it's funny. Okay, well, let's start with this first. At running back, I'm going to go back to my gut call here. You remember I thought this could be a smash spot for Najee. His arm is fine now. The sling is shed. He's good. And Warren is probably going to be out. I'm going to go in on Najee. I'm going to start Najee, and I'm going to go B-Rob. Eckler's out too, by the way. I think Etienne will be fine on the bench this week. I'm going to go receivers, of course, Jefferson, Godwin. All of those 3 others, it's really funny because first 2 weeks, massive busts. And then last week, they all finally had their big game, right? All of them. The one I'd feel less confident about would be Kirk, just because of the defensive matchup there. McLaurin looked the best, I would say, objectively. It's not a bad matchup for him. But you're right. I think Cooper has the most upside. So I will go Cooper as well. All right. Thomas. 2 flex. Seawat and Ridley for Debo. Fair.
I don't know if it's fair, but I would take Debo. Give me Debo.
I think so.
Assuming, of course, you don't need Debo right now, which obviously for making this deal, you probably don't need Debo, but like there's still time for Christian Watson because he's only played 1 game with Jordan Love, so it's way too soon to say Christian Watson's a bust. He played 1 game with Jordan Love and then 2 with Malik Willis. So there's still potential for, and look, it's been 3 games and he's not even on the injury report, not even limited. So that right there is a victory for Christian Watson. Ridley, I still have my doubts about Ridley with Will Levis. I mean, Ridley will have those weeks. Like, I feel like Ridley's going to be one of those guys we look back on and be like, yeah, he was a good best ball pick, but man, if you had him in redraft, you really were frustrated. Like, he was just really frustrated. Because they'll have those weeks where Will Levis throws that, like, how did Will Levis make that pass, right? And then they'll have those weeks where it's like, why did Will Levis make that pass? Like, why? What did you know what I mean? So just give me
that's every week.
Yeah, true. That is every week. Exactly. You get both every single week. Pretty much.
A little bit of everything.
Give me Debo. Give me Debo.
Yeah, probably Debo. Like, and you're saying 2 flex. I mean, I'm going to assume you're trading both these guys who are flexible still, and Debo is not this week. I mean, assuming that you're not going to be high and dry. So overall, I probably prefer the Debo side too. My guess. Do I try Pittman and Javonte for Brian Robinson Jr.?
Yeah, I don't know if throwing in Javonte sweetens the deal any, but Pittman for Brian Robinson might honestly work because it's not like Brian Robinson has been great for fantasy. He's been great in real life. He hasn't been putting up huge fantasy games. So if somebody out there thinks like, hey, Pittman's a buy low, they might think like Brian Robinson is a sell low, basically, right? They're like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, I can get Pittman and gamble on him bouncing back. So Yeah, I think you can do it. I mean, if you want to throw in Javonte, sure. I don't think I mean, unless the person is like a big Javonte fan or a Denver Broncos fan, I don't think they're going to look at Javonte and be like, "Ooh, now I can't say no." But I think Pittman for B-Rob straight up should get it done anyway.
I mean, I might do it just to get Javonte off my roster at this point, just to clear up some space. But like you couldn't drop him. Yeah, I would say right now, just give me B-Rob. So it's not unfair. I would try it, see if it works. And then Samantha Pfluger, Stroud, or Purdy.
Still got to go Stroud here. Stroud is in a good spot this week. Look, if Stroud doesn't have a big game this week, then we're in full-fledged CJ Stroud sophomore slump panic mode. Because it should be a big game for him this week.
Which brings me to a thought, but let's do the other part first. Okay, I'll go Stroud. I got Stroud as a bounce back. Minnesota or San Francisco defense?
I mean, San Francisco is probably your safer defense because how many points are the Patriots going to score? But I think Minnesota has more upside. Minnesota's been incredible. I think they're like a top 20 PPR player or something. It's been crazy, but San Francisco is so safe this week because, I mean, how many points can the Patriots score?
Yeah, it's funny because before the season, you would have definitely thought, well, San Francisco the best defense here, but maybe the matchup. No, it's the opposite. Minnesota's definitely been the better defense. San Francisco defense has not looked that good, but they get the Patriots. We always say, what do? You play matchups. The matchup favors the Niners. Don't want to go too deep into this, but you probably saw, well, maybe, I don't know if it was widely publicized, Josh Allen. They were just, asking him, and he said something about, it's just really nice how, we have all guys who are, for the team and nobody cares about targets and their numbers and whatever. Like a very, very not so subtle dig at Diggs.
Where are you going with this? Are you saying Stephon Diggs might be the issue with CJ Stroud right now?
I'm not saying it is, but you got to wonder. You got to just wonder out loud. Like, we thought it would help CJ Stroud. It really hasn't. So I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe he's just cancer.
I didn't say that. Just saying. Anyways, we'll see. Other John, non-PPR, Najee, Chase Brown, or Charbonnet again, assuming Walker's out.
Oh, man. It's between Najee and Charbonnet for me.
This is non-PPR. Keep that in mind.
I mean, it's such a bad spot for Charbonnet. Like, I don't know if people realize. Like we said last week a lot. Like, okay, look, we certainly get things wrong. So I'm not trying to like be like, look at us, we got this right because we get plenty wrong. But we said like James Conner was a guy that, I mean, I even saw comments on our videos like, not having James Conner as a no doubt must start on your running back video is criminal. It's criminal. Like, take him to jail. And then we were even on the streams. We were like, look, James Conner, Detroit, not a great matchup. And what do we see? James Conner did very little. It's just Detroit's run defense it's like the Pat Surtain of run defenses. Like, you really don't want to start your running back against them. And Charbonnet, it's not a guy I feel like that great about. I know he had a nice game last week, but man, I might just go Najee and not PPR, honestly.
And I just say part of Charbonnet looking better as a runner is because of the soft run defense and complete lack of fight, on the other side here. They could just sit back and run the ball because Dolphins kept giving it back to them. So
sure.
I non-PPR, you take away that receiving that makes Charbonnet more valuable. I'm going Najee. And then this would be tough, but I'm feeling Najee this week. It hasn't happened a lot recently. This is a great spot for Najee. So I would go Najee. So it's not just Sharp has a tough matchup. Najee has a great matchup. Trent Thompson, 12-team full PPR, Dak and Lamb, Rice, Connor, Achane, Kittle, London, Dicker, the kicker, Chiefs defense. All right, and then there's a bench, start or sit. Anybody here worth starting? Charbonnet, probably not. Reed?
Maybe Reed, but who do you got in there? You got Lamb and Rice, not benching them. Not benching London. Like London this week. Not benching Connor. HN Connor going to bounce back this week.
Yeah.
Yep. You're good. You're good. Even if Walker's out, I'm not playing sharps over those guys.
Yeah, that's you're good as is. The only thing maybe would be if Kittle doesn't play. What are you feeling about Kittle? Is it kind of just 50-50 right now, or you think he will play?
I think it's a good sign that it's Wednesday and he's already back at practice limited. So, I mean, it's not a guarantee, of course. You'd like to see him get, maybe another limited practice in tomorrow and then a full practice in Friday so you can feel really good about him. But even if, let's say you have George Kittle and maybe you picked up like Tyler Conklin or Cole Kmet or whoever off the waiver wire. If they say like, hey, George Kittle's playing, like, are you playing Conklin or Kmet or whoever, whatever waiver wire tight end over Kittle? Like, no. So
he's playing. You play him.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. All right, Trent, you're good. Sir Boomer wants to know if he's good. His assistant is saying Cooper over Deontay. He's going Deontay.
Like Deontay certainly, I shouldn't say certainly, but Deontay probably your safer bet. Like, again, I think Deontay shouldn't kill you this week. Like, you don't have to worry about an Amari Cooper, 9 target, 2 catch game because Deshaun Watson's can't throw him the football. And it's a good spot for Deontay Johnson this week. Even though you see Bengals they're pretty strong against wide receivers. His specific matchup is not that strong, and really, I mean, how strong are the Bengals really against wide receivers? Like, look what Terry just did to them. So,
right.
I think, again, it could be a week, it could be another boom week for for Amari Cooper, and maybe he does outscore Deontay Johnson. But the risk is also that it's another week where Deshaun Watson is absolutely horrible and can't get the ball to Amari Cooper. So just give me Deontay.
Yeah, that's it's a close call. Again, you know what Cooper is. He's pretty much a boom or bust. There's not usually a lot of in between. Amari Cooper just doesn't like to go for 4 catches and 58 yards. He wants it all or he does nothing. So it's it kind of depends on the makeup of your roster and how you're feeling. Vinny, what's up? Williams or Carr?
Yeah, it's got to be Williams, right? We tried it. This is why, if you've been watching, like those of you who've been watching end games for years and have heard me rail on Derek Carr on many panic videos, this is why. Because this is what Derek Carr does. He sucks you in. He's like, look at me, guys. Look at how good I am. Look how good I look. And then you're like, I got to start Derek Carr. And then he's like, ha, gotcha. This is what Derek Carr does. Give me Caleb Williams.
Give me Caleb Williams. I talked about Caleb Williams, best streamer of the week. Was supposed to be Carr last week. It really should have been Carr last week against that Philly secondary. But alas, it was just Derek Carr. Quentin or Shakir?
Ooh, I think I'm going Shakir here. I think.
Well, Justin Herbert. Yeah, we didn't even talk about this, but Justin Herbert looking doubtful for this week, at least. Well, I mean, doubtful, but uncertain.
Uncertain. I mean, the Chiefs secondary.
Yeah.
Khalil Shakir quietly. Well, I know he had a nice game here, so I guess it's not quiet anymore. But Khalil Shakir has quietly been the wide receiver 1 in Buffalo by a pretty wide margin. I shouldn't say a pretty wide margin. It's not like he's getting peppered with targets, but he's the wide receiver 1 there for whatever that's worth. So give me Shakir.
Yeah, this is definitely Shakir this week. K9 if he plays, well, I mean, yeah, if he plays, you play him, but
yeah, I mean, look, it might not be the best Kenneth Walker week because again, I talked about that Detroit defense. It might almost be better if he doesn't play this week because then you don't even have to decide you put him in or not because there is certainly bust potential against this Detroit Lions defense, and he's not a guy who's going to catch, despite what the coaches said. Like, he's not a guy that's going to catch 5 or 6 passes to okay, he can at least give you that. So it might almost be better if he sits this week, so you don't have to even decide what to do against Detroit.
Yeah, I don't mind if he takes another week and heals up, and then we're good. All right, Alexis Aguilar says he got offered some options for Nico. By the way, 0-3. Okay, so let's consider this: Moss and Garrett, or Tank, Dell, Ayuk. Like, you can choose one of those 3 receivers. Is that what it is?
I think
Is Moss and Garrett Wilson enough for Nico? Close. I mean, Moss doesn't really move the needle much either way, I think. I don't know if you need to start Zach Moss. I hope not.
like, I mean, I know, okay, you're 0-3 and you're like, okay, I have to do something. But I've started back in the, like, I always tell this story every year because we always get people who are like, it's over. I'm 0-3, it's over, right? It's over. In our Rotoballer Expert League, back when the season was back when you only had 13 weeks before the playoffs, you didn't even have that extra game to get you in. I started 1-5 and came back and went to the championship game. Like, 0-3, like if you have a good team, like if you're looking at your team and it's a good team and your team is scoring points and maybe you're just getting unlucky, you don't, because I don't think Nico is the reason you're 0-3. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Nico is not the reason you're 0-3. There's some other reason. Like, I'm okay if you want to make a 2-for-1 like this. If you're like, hey, maybe the reason you're 0-3 is because your RB2 is Rico Dowdle or something like that's. And so you're like, I need a better RB2. Like, I get it or whatever. But I don't think this is the move. I don't think this is the move to make for Nico. Like, give me. I don't know. Just give me somebody better than Zach Moss.
Agree. And Garrett Wilson right now should be a buy low. I'm not saying get him for nothing, but still, his value is down. You can get something a little bit more. I agree. It's Moss. Moss just doesn't do much. I don't think that's going to pull you out of the hole, isn't what I'm saying. So, yeah, try a different deal here. It's okay getting one of those receivers. Look, if it's Tank Dell instead of Ayuk or Garrett Wilson, he should be a much lower buy low, right? You should be able to get Tank Dell and like a Ramondre or something like that. All right, Juan Romero. Okay, in non-PPR, we're going Pickens or Deontay.
I mean, why not Deontay? I mean, it wasn't like he was a PPR monster last week. He was just a monster. 122 yards and 122 yards and a touchdown. Last time I checked, that's pretty good in any format. in any league, that's pretty good. Like, are we really? Is this the week Pickens scores? Is this the week the Steelers throw a touchdown to a wide receiver? Maybe.
I hope so.
Maybe not. You know what I mean? Like, just give me Deontay. No Adam Thielen. Like, are we really worried? Like, Xavier Leggett is going to take get all his targets, and Jonathan Mingo, Tommy Tremble. These guys are just going to take all the targets. Just give me Deontay. Even in non-PPR, I'm going Deontay.
Yeah, I keep waiting for the Pickens bust out week. It's going to happen at some point, but let's go Deontay here. I mean, he even scored 2. It's like we can't say Pickens gives you a big advantage anymore. Lexus also wants to know, are we sitting Garrett Wilson, by the way, against Sertan? I certainly think you could.
Well, this is the other problem, going back to your question, Alexis. If you make that trade, Moss for Garrett Wilson, okay, how comfortable are you? Like, is Garrett Wilson going to help you win this week? So you're 0-3, and now you're trading for a guy that you might not even want to start this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I saw something. Pickens' schedule coming up not Pickens. Garrett Wilson's schedule until like week 8 faces like a murderer's row of tough matchups. So, I mean, I think you can consider sitting Garrett Wilson. Like, I would sit him for Deontay Johnson. I definitely would.
Yeah. Kirk is where it's debatable. I'm not sure if I'm starting Kirk over Garrett Wilson, but I mean, your situation, this must be a different team. I mean, you're definitely starting Lamb. Yes, I would start Deontay. I think since Devontae is out, Garrett could be your third receiver. I think Kirk is probably where I draw the line. All right, Zach of trades was able to trade Jennings and Ford for Monty. Win?
I think it's got to be a win. I mean, Jennings, again, like, Kittle already close to coming back. Debo will be back. Like, Jennings is a humongous sell high right now. And then Ford, like, okay, yes, I still think Ford will be fine. Like, Ford's always going to be one of those running backs where you're like, well, he's startable. He's startable. He won't kill me. He'll give me some points. But, I mean, what's the upside? So, yeah, I think that's a win.
I think it's a good deal. It's interesting, though, now your backfield, it looks like his backfield is Gibbs and Monty. So, go Lions.
I mean, at this point, is that even a bad thing? These guys, it's like every week. Every week.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, Mo Lim, start. Kirk, Madison, or Charbonnet?
Well, assuming it's PPR, I'll just go with Kirk. Even if Kenneth Walker is out, I'll still go Kirk. It's a good, like, the signs are there saying this should be a big Kirk week. And now, of course, he's got to overcome Trevor Lawrence. But I said that about Amari Cooper last week, right? I was like, yeah, all the signs say Amari Cooper, but he's got to overcome Deshaun Watson. He did it. Maybe Kirk can overcome T-Law. I mean, he was pretty good in week 3, so I'm going Kirk.
Yeah, you really can't consider Madison. He's just been put in there to vulture touchdowns and catch a couple of passes, just not getting usage, not a great offense. Charbonnet, not this week. So Kirk it is. And then we got Daquan Brandon, Odunze, or Olave.
I still got to go Olave here. I just think Olave, I know Odunze is interesting because of the matchup, but there's not a lot of wide receivers I'm starting over Chris Olave.
I will say last week this would have been like, don't even think. Come on, wait, this is not a question. This week, look, Odunze is very interesting this week. I would like to get him in my lineups, but I'm not going to sit Olave for him. So, still Olave. But if, I don't know, you can find a way. If this is your flex option, then okay, it's just Olave. But if you could find a way to squeeze Odunze in there, that would be nice. Okay, Juice. This is a fair question. If you're picking up Rashawn Johnson, could you drop Javonte for him?
Yeah, we might see Tyler Beatty. Is that how you pronounce it? Batty? They elevated him. Beatty. They elevated him from the practice squad today because they put Alex Singleton, well, he's out for the season. He actually looked like the best running back, and I think it was all on one play. I think it might have all been on one play.
Yeah.
But another guy in the mix. Yeah, I guess.
At least he actually had a long play. Like, I don't think Javonte or McLaughlin have had a long play like all season. Beatty, I remember Beatty's guy. I think he went to Missouri, maybe Mizzou. He a couple of years ago it came out, and I liked him a lot. I was big on him, and then of course he did nothing. Released. I think he was with the Ravens at one point. I mean, come on, it's a Denver running back, but still, that's the point. You can drop Javonte. So yes. I'm just saying right now, I feel like with, Zamir White, Javonte Williams, mostly Gus Edwards, like, just drop them and shoot for upside somewhere. Just, there's no need to keep holding on here. Steve James, JD, 5. Derrick Henry, Mason, Jefferson, Nico, Kittle, Ayuk, flex. Should I switch out for any of these guys? B-Rob, Odunze, J-Mo, Dobbs.
I mean, you definitely have some guys I'd like to start this week, but all the guys in your lineup are pretty much guys I can't bench. Like, yeah, I don't think there's any. This is your bench is even like a decent starting lineup. So, yeah, stick with what you got. You're good.
Yeah, I mean, I just said I'd like to squeeze Odunze in there, but I'm not benching Ayuk for him. So, yeah, I think you got to keep it the way it is. Mason Henry, no. J-Mo, I can say I'm not thrilled about his matchup this week, so I feel comfortable benching J-Mo if I have better options, which you clearly do. So no, you're good. Just keep an eye on Kittle, make sure he's actually in before you set that lineup. Boomer says that guys are dropping their backup quarterbacks like hot rocks. Well, it's about time. Maybe they're listening to us.
That's what this
Is
is.
he?
Okay, just real quick, because this always happens in my wife's work league, and in any almost any like I guess I'll call it a home league type of league that I've ever am in, where people are drafting like 2 or 3 quarterbacks, and they think like I don't know what they think. Like I'm going to trade one of these guys, or what if my quarterback gets hurt? And then what happens is week 3, it's week 4, and all of a sudden you're like, I need to pick up this guy off the waiver wire, and I don't have any room on my bench. And then they start dropping like every year, and then they'll do it again. They'll do it again next year. They'll draft 3 quarterbacks and then drop 2, and they'll do it again the year. It's like, do you not learn? Why do you do this?
Yeah. He's asking if he has 2 quarterbacks. Okay, well, I fine because he had Love and Love was hurt, so that's understandable. Do you have JD and Love? Is Goff better than Love? No.
And trade Love. Try to trade Love, because you're going to end up dropping them pretty soon.
Yeah. Giwa or Jiwa, one of those. Drop Mostert for Bucky.
Yeah, I mean, is Mostert even going to – even if Mostert played this week, are you like – you ready to put Mostert in your lineup with, I guess it's going to be, I guess we're going to see Snoop Huntley is my guess. Like, yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Hey, maybe.
I'd rather have Huntley in there than Skylar Thompson or Tim Boyle.
Look what Malik Willis did for the Packers. Maybe Snoop Huntley could, if Mike McDaniel is really this offensive guru that he's supposed to be. Look what Matt LaFleur did with Malik Willis. See what he can do with Snoop Huntley.
One thing without, going down this rabbit hole, I'll just say I did see today from one of the local reporters from the Sun Sentinel, been covering the Dolphins for a long time. The word is that the Dolphins training camp and their practices, when they practice, basically it's they kind of practice soft, like they don't do a lot of running. It's like low impact. They're out there like in shorts, while other teams are going pads and going hard. It's a little casual, in other words. And maybe this is why they back down against good teams, because that's what a lot of people are saying. Like it's a finesse team and like they're not physical. Maybe there's some truth to that. Just saying. Maybe this team isn't really, doesn't really have what it takes without those long plays, those gimmick plays, and the offensive scheming. He's going to have to really do something. But I'm just telling you, it's not going to take very much more before Mike McDaniel all of a sudden is on the hot seat. I'm just telling you. Don't be shocked.
Wow.
Mary Jo. Hi, Mary Jo. Defense, Raiders, Dolphins, Eagles, Packers, Steelers. Okay, so half the NFL. Which defense do we like here?
I think the Chiefs are my number 1 out of this group. Dolphins certainly interesting against the Titans because it is Will Levis, and he'll take like 3 or 4 sacks, and he'll give you he'll give you 2 chances to score every game, but also it's the Dolphins defense.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Chiefs against the Chargers with either a hobbled Justin Herbert or Taylor Heineke.
Right.
Just give me the Chiefs here. And the Chiefs actually have a very good defense, right? They have Chris Jones can get pressure. They have a good secondary. Just give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, part of me thinks, well, the Chargers already run the ball more than anybody. Now, without Herbert, they're just going to run the ball 50 times. But, it's the Chiefs. They're probably going to have to pass at some point. Right. And Taylor Heineke is good for some sacks and probably an interception or 2. So, go Chiefs here. Just go Chiefs. I like the Bears. I like the Steelers, but yeah. All right. There you go. And then we got DL. Does Olave Ford for Connor Pittman unreasonable?
I don't think it's unreasonable.
No. Which side do you prefer? The Olave side?
I mean, I'd probably the Olave side. But this really just comes down to what Pittman do we get rest of the season? Yeah. Is Pittman just going to be one of the biggest busts this year, or is he going to rebound and be good at some point? And I guess that really comes down to Anthony Richardson more than anything. So But look, I think right now, just give me the Olave Ford side. I know Ford is a definite downgrade from Connor, but I can get by with Ford. Olave is just such a big upgrade over Pitt.
Yeah, this is reasonable. Seems fair. I think this comes down to which position you prefer to really solidify your RB2, your wide receiver 2/3. So that's fair. Big Dog Pound, what is up? Flex 1 in full. Deontay Pittman, Ford, Terry, Coleman, or JMO?
So again, Deontay versus Terry is the question here. Very, very close between these guys this week, but I think I just feel slightly better about Deontay getting, for as good as Terry McLaurin was last week, it was like he didn't get what Deontay Johnson got, like a 37% target share last week, and that was with Adam Thielen playing, not the whole game, but a decent amount of the game.
That's a good point.
He could get a 40%. He could get like a 40% target share this week. I think I'm going Deontay, but it's close between him and McLaurin.
Yeah, that is a good point. It's probably being overlooked. Thielen, because we kind of forgot about Thielen, right? Did score a touchdown, kind of long touchdown last week, and he's getting those targets. Now he's out for several weeks. So that actually could be better for Deontay. Yeah, I like Deontay. We love Deontay all preseason. We were talking him up probably more than anybody. So, yeah, there's no reason not to start Deontay. Will Davies, 10-team standard, McBride owner. All right, so if he's out, who do you like? I mean, no, actually, I don't know. You got a lot of options here. Is it Ingram if he plays?
Yeah, I think it's Ingram if he plays. Or Njoku if he plays, one of those guys. Wow, all these tight ends are on the waiver wire?
It's 10-team, but still, yeah, it's a lot.
But here's the nice thing, Will. Since all these tight ends are available, you don't even have to go pick one up yet.
True.
You can just wait, and if it's Saturday or Sunday or whatever, and they're like, or Friday, and they're like, McBride's out. These guys, I'm assuming, will all still be there. So, yeah, probably. I think in standard, I think Njoku's slightly over Ingram for me, assuming they both play.
It's too early in the week to say what the status is here. So, yeah, you can get any of these guys. I would say Njoku, Ingram. Obviously, your top choice is Conklin, I guess, next. And after that, probably doesn't matter too much. Maybe commit. Speaking of players available on the waiver wire, I know it's an 8-team league, but for some reason, someone rage dropped Mike Evans. I think you should pick him up over Pittman. Probably okay.
Yeah, but you don't have any. There's even in an 8-team league. I got to assume you have a worse player than Pittman. I know maybe you don't have a player who's been worse than Pittman right now, but like you got to have somebody like I would think worse than Pittman. But I mean, yes, Evans is a must-have, and if Pittman's the one you have to drop, oh well.
Yes, you got to pick up Evans. Vinny says with Godwin hurt. Is Godwin hurt?
Evans and Godwin were limited today, but again, it's Wednesday. They're vets. I'm not worried about it at all.
All right, just in case, is it Waddle, Watson, or Pittman?
I mean, if for some reason Godwin doesn't play, I'll just gamble on the upside of Watson with Love back.
Yeah, been talking about Pittman. Can't feel too comfortable there. Waddle, no thanks. Watson. All right, Doug Fenton in 10-team ESPN league. Full PPR needs 2, and a flex. 1 and 2. Don't think it's not must win for you just yet. Have Hall, Mason, Achane, Jacobs, Walker, Rice, Wilson, Flowers, JSN, BTJ, and Worthy. You got Murray and Ferguson. This is a good team. I mean, 10-team. I mean, you'll be fine. All right, but who do we start?
Hall and Achane. Man. Rice. I mean, Rice for sure. I'm trying to debate if I want to go Flowers over G Will.
I'll go Flowers over G Will. I mean, I'm worried about Wilson. Well, why take the chance he gets shut down?
Yeah, let's go Flowers over G Will. And if there's a flex here, I'll probably flex Mason, even in PPR.
Yeah, you have good enough running backs. You can just flex a running back here. Jason Jacobs is also a good choice. And then Murray and Ferguson. All right, there you go. I think you'll get a win. Even if you don't, it's okay. No panic required. Let's do a couple of quick ones here. Do a slightly lightning-ish round. Okay. Anakin Skywalker is still in the chat. Wants to know Olave or DK?
Well, I know I said there's not many wide receivers I would bench Olave for, but I think DK is one of them. I mean, two weeks in a row, he's been incredible, and now he gets this Detroit secondary, which scares me not at all. I'm going DK over Olave.
Yes, loving DK this week. Go DK, max power. Advice for Zamir White owners?
Drop. This is like if I had to choose. Okay, for as bad as Javonte Williams has been, if I had to choose between Javonte and Zamir, I would drop Zamir because at least Javonte got a goal line carry. Like Zamir gets. Like I couldn't believe it last week when Red Zone flipped over to the Raiders at the 1 and they gave the ball to Madison again. I'm like, what? Madison again? Like Zamir? Like what? I don't know what Alec Pierce's coach. Antonio Pierce. That's wide receiver. I don't know what Antonio Pierce's coach speak index rating is, but after him talking up how much they wanted to run the ball and give Zeus 20-plus carries all off season, his reliability rating has to go way down. Way down.
It nosedive. Yes. The advice is to drop and don't look back.
Yeah.
What about that calm gaming Singletary or B-Rob?
Like them both, but I'm going Singletary. He's just in an absolute smash spot, and he's been really, really good.
Yeah, generally, man, it's tough too because B-Rob, no Eckler there this week. I mean, they've already ruled him out. So
right.
B-Rob, a very solid start, but this week you got to test Singletary against the ridiculously bad Cowboys run defense. And then Emiliano Delgado, QJ or Pickens for week 4?
Pickens. I don't really want, especially if Herbert is out, I don't want Johnston with Taylor Heineke. Give me Pickens.
No, it's got to be Pickens this week. And then one more here before we get to the Super Chats again. Perry Tong, Rome or Ford?
Just go Rome. Even if Keenum plays, I don't care. I'm going Rome. I just feel like he has more. Like Ford is fine this week. Ford's actually in a really good spot this week. But what is the upside for Ford? Like you're just hoping he scores, right? You're hoping he scores. Give me Rome.
Give me Rome. Very, very good boom pick this week. All right. Pouty Bob. Welcome, Bob. A. Rich Love, Bijan Pollard, Ford Algier, Warren, Marv, Evans, Del Odunze, Ertz. Wondering if you should make a trade for Kincaid so he doesn't have to roll Ertz out there.
I mean, do we feel that much better about Kincaid than Ertz right now? I mean, even with the touchdown last week, like what is like he scored? It's like okay, phew, he scored. But I mean, like,
yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. I feel relief. That's all I feel like relieved. Like okay, he's not a complete bust, but I mean, I definitely feel better about him than Ertz. But I mean, I don't know. Are you going to trade one of these guys for him? The only one maybe is Dell, and even so, that's like I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, what I mean is like getting Kincaid such an upgrade that you want to trade away one of your players. Like, look, if somebody will take Algier or Jalen Warren for Kincaid, sure, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm not going to trade like away one of my good players just to get Kincaid. Really, I'm not going to trade away one of my good players to get any tight end. There's no tight end I would want.
No, I just say, well, if this is a one quarterback league, maybe trade one of your quarterbacks. I mean, it's not a good time to trade Anthony Richardson, but I think I would do that. All right. And we got to remember Thick Fingers is here. Thick Fingers have questions. Ramondre or Moss? Does Ramondre bounce back?
I think he does. The 49ers run defense, like, even going back to last year, the 49ers run defense was really bad, and they're really bad again this year. But Moss gets the Panthers, who are also really bad.
This is true. Game script, do you think it could get away from the Pats? I mean, look what happened last week. That was against the Jets, right? That's my worry. But Mondre does get involved as a receiver. My worry with Moss is we saw them go away from him. I mean, they were losing, of course. The Bengals were. They could be losing again, right? Andy Dalton strikes again, has his revenge. There's no sure thing. I'm going to go with the guy who, I always say this, the tiebreaker for me is who I feel is going to get the most touches regardless of game script. For me, it's Mondre.
I mean, it's super close for me, so I'll just make it easy on you, thick fingers, just go Ramondre as well. But I could see this one going either way, honestly.
Right. Okay, Bill. To trade Brian Thomas Jr. and Carson, the Warhorse, Steele for Ridley and Chubb.
No. Okay. Is there some Chubb news? Was there some Chubb news or something?
Not that I'm aware. I think it's this time of the year because I've seen a couple of questions about like Hawkinson and Chubb. We did see a question on the Draft Lane app today. Something I think people are like, okay, maybe now it's time for them to come off because it's been 4 weeks. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah. So I guess I just saw this. Stefanski was asked if Chubb could come off PUP next week, and he said, "We'll see when we get to next week. He's doing well." So I'm guessing people are taking that as like, oh, he's going to come off the PUP right away.
He didn't say no.
Yeah, just give me Brian Thomas and Steele, honestly.
Yeah. Also have Najee Cook, Gibbs, A.J. Brown, Deontay Waddle. You already have Hopkins. You really want Ridley too? I don't know.
No.
I don't think that makes it more tempting. If anything, it's the opposite. So, no, don't do this. Brandon Sky is back. Rank these running backs: Etienne, Jacobs, Walker, Aaron Jones.
All right, I assume we're just ranking them for this week. I'm going to go Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Etienne, Walker. Give me my ranking for this week.
I'm tempted to put Aaron Jones first, but yeah, I'm going to put Aaron Jones first. I'll go Aaron Jones, then Jacobs. I mean, if Walker plays, Walker, don't think he'll play. I'm putting Etienne last. The Professor. Start JD or Mahomes.
Just go with JD. He has more upside. I mean, Mahomes probably safer because he's getting you like 17, 18 points every week. But JD has way more upside. Go JD.
Yeah. It's not as if this is a smash spot for the Chiefs offense anyways, where he said that Chargers defense, they're going to try to slow things down, and offense, they're going to slow things down. This is where we're at. That Mahomes Kelsey stack is killing you. What about McLaurin, Shakir, JMO? Who do you not start here?
All right, McLaurin for sure is a start for me. Again, Shakir, interesting. What is Jameson this week? It's not a good spot for Jameson.
No, not really.
I might just go Shakir. I mean, look, Jameson could have one of those huge plays, and then you wish you started him. But I feel like Shakir gives you a decent enough floor here. I'm going McLaurin and Shakir.
Yeah, I'm definitely leery of JMO this week. So there you go. Let's actually get back to Bill because he did say if the answer is no, which the answer was no, how can you better my team? So let's look back at it. All right, so Najee Cook, Gibbs, and Ford. A.J. Brown, Deontay, Waddle, Hopkins, Murray, and both Ravens.
I mean, I look at this team, and what really stands out to me here is you just need A.J. Brown to get healthy, and you just need Tua to get back, and this team is incredibly strong. I mean, Cook and Gibbs at running back is great. Okay. having Andrews and Likely isn't fun because you don't really know who to start, and you don't really feel good starting either of them. But welcome to the tight end club. I mean, like I have one league where I drafted Andrews. I picked up Komet, and I'm just going to start him. Even if Keenan plays, I'm just going to start him over Andrews this week. I don't care. Like, can you drop Likely and get Conklin or Komet or even Ertz or somebody that you at least know will get you something? Like, they'll get you points this week. You don't have to worry about a 0 from Andrews. And then look, if Andrews looks good, like, okay, maybe you drop Ertz and you put Andrews back in. But really, I look at this team and I'm like, man, this team just needs A.J. Brown to get healthy and Tua to come back. And this team is ready to roll.
Yeah, it's kind of aggravating that as soon as Deontay came alive, as HAB went down and Waddle is, not completely unstartable, but not somebody you really want to start. Yeah, I don't see a lot that you really can or should do either. So, I mean, sometimes, and I do feel bad sometimes when people ask, what do I do? And I'm like, I don't think you should do anything, right? It's like sometimes people ask the trade question, and like, you don't have to always make a trade, right? If you can buy low, if something, comes through, but there's not always that opportunity. So I think Bill, for now, just got to hold tight. All right, Timothy James B, JD or Burrow?
Here I might go Burrow, even though I do think JD has more upside. I think Burrow against Carolina, there's no risk. Like, there's very little risk of Burrow, like, having a down game. Like, I just think his floor is so high this week that I don't want to risk a Jaden Daniels game where maybe he throws his first interception, maybe he doesn't run in a touchdown, maybe he doesn't throw for a touchdown. Burrow should be very good this week, so I'm just going to go Burrow here.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was the Commanders, but still, Burrow has been better each week. Now got T. Higgins back. So, yeah, this week you can just go with Burrow.
Yeah, I heard that. You said T. Higgins back. You didn't say Jamar Chase looking like Jamar Chase. You said T. Higgins back.
It's good for his morale. It's good for the morale of the team, the chemistry.
Hey, it worked. It worked. The offense was incredible. They just ran into Jaden Daniels and the Commanders.
Yeah, exactly. Thoughts between these two rest of the season? I don't know. Is it probably just play matchups you'll be keeping them, right?
Yeah, so when Burrow has those tough matchups, you probably can roll with JD because Burrow is one of those guys that he's not going to give you much in the ground game. So when he's got those tough matchups where he may not throw for big numbers, you can put JD.
There you go. All right, so what about Christian Ocampo, Burrow or Dak?
Burrow. I'm going Burrow as well. I'm not scared of this Giants defense because of how they played against the Browns. That's Deshaun Watson. I mean, he's arguably bottom 5 QB right now. I think Dak will be fine this week, but Burrow just in a better spot.
Yeah, this should be a big bounce back game for the Cowboys. All right, I'm starting Burrow though. All right, very different quarterback question here. Again, Joe, don't know why you have this option. Joe Scarecrow, Lamar or Murray this week?
We only had 4 quarterbacks as must starts on the must start video, and you have 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, it has. I mean, Murray gets the Commanders. Isn't that the end of it?
Yeah, that's probably the end of it. Because also, I feel like this is going to be another game where Derrick Henry just runs wild.
Sure. All right. Well, there you go. This week it's Murray, and then. I mean, I don't know if we'll get this question again for a while. So, Evan Vance, Wan'Dale Robinson or Xavier Legette?
I might just go with Legette or Leggett or however you pronounce his name. Like Wan'Dale is fine, but I mean, this is yeah, he's fine. I mean, you got to think Leggett will be more involved, and Andy Dalton. I'll just gamble on Leggett.
No, Adam Thielen, he could be the beneficiary. We'll see. All right, Mike Blackburn. Now, actually, we didn't even talk about this. This one, I know, again, it's Wednesday. It might be legit. Alvin Kamara has been running so much, he might be breaking down. If he can't go, who are we going to pick here? Bucky, Akers, or one of these free agents? Kareem Hunt, one of them.
Not Kareem Hunt. As of now, I'd be surprised if Kamara doesn't play, but you never know. But if for some reason he doesn't, I think you got to go Akers, again, assuming Mixon and Pierce are out, which is trending that way. Right. If for some reason Mixon plays, then I guess go Bucky.
Yeah, I get this working on the assumption that Mixon is out. I think that's what's going to happen. Go Akers. But keep Kamara in there for now. And then here for the memes. 10-team, single QB, Dynasty, which, by the way, if you're on the Discord, we have a memes channel on the Discord.
There is.
That's, for some reason, that seems to be the channel I post in the most frequently. 10-team, single QB, Dynasty, start 3, receivers 2, flex. Would you trade B-Rob and a late first? All right, for Devontae Smith.
Yes. I'm always going to prefer the wide receiver in Dynasty, especially in a 3 wide receiver, 2 flex Dynasty. Yeah, give me Smith.
Yes, I would definitely do this. Late first, take Devontae Smith. Going to be a stud for years.
Yep.
All right, Moises, welcome back. As always, got Henry, B-Rob, Waddle, Higgins, Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, Monty, Brian Thomas, Jacoby needs 2, and a flex.
All right, Henry. I still think I got to go Monty. Even though I really like Brian Robinson this week and there's no Eckler, but I mean, how do you bench Monty at this point? It's like every week.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, that's fine. Those guys are comparable.
Henry, Monty, Neighbors. You know what?
Who are you more afraid of?
Okay,
Garrett Wilson or Jalen Waddle?
Just from looking at your wide receivers, okay, you're gonna flex a running back, so whatever. You're gonna play Henry, Robinson, Monty for sure. So okay, fine. That whole Monty over B-Rob thing was pointless because you're not gonna play through these wide receivers, or at least I'm not. Neighbors for sure. I might just put Higgins in again. Higgins got good usage. It just didn't connect. And he's got another good matchup. Garrett Wilson. I mean, look, we said last week, like, oh, it's Mike Evans. You can't bench Mike Evans. And I really wish I told everybody to bench Mike Evans.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf was horrible in week 1 against Surtain. I'm going Neighbors and Higgins and flexing and playing the 3 running backs.
I will agree. I did see the highlight. Higgins had that end zone target, which is a little overthrown. Could have been a big game. I don't know, whatever. I'll go Higgins here because I'm scared of Garrett Wilson, and of course, I'm not trusting Waddle with whatever quarterback they got. So there you go. Agreement. Bijou Babakuti. Who do I flex? Dobbins, Steele, likely Shaheed.
Curious why Shaheed is all caps. Is he trying to
Yeah, very subtle.
Say Shaheed. Pick Shaheed.
Yeah, it's like Dobbins, Steele, likely Shaheed.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe to Shaheed, unless it's Dobbins.
Yeah, I think I go Dobbins. I mean, look, if you want to put Shaheed in there and gamble that he hits on that long touchdown again this week, go ahead. I mean, Shaheed's always that guy that he's gonna be that guy. I wish I did not draft him I drafted a lot of them in best ball. I'm very happy I drafted a lot of them in best ball.
Right.
I wish I didn't draft him in redraft because he's gonna be one of these guys you see him and you're like, man.
Yeah. Like, what do I do?
If I bench him and he goes off, I'm going to be kicking myself. But if I start him and he gets me a 0, I'm going to be kicking myself. Like, it's just, he's going to be so tough. But look, Dobbins took over this backfield last week, got pretty much all the touches. And even though the Chiefs are a good run defense, according to fantasy points, when you look at the offensive line versus defensive line matchup, the Chargers actually have a clear advantage here over the Chiefs defensive line. So maybe this is a week where you can have a good game. I'm going to go Dobbins.
And Herbert trending towards being out. Even if he plays, could be very limited. You think they're just going to run as much as humanly possible, like even more than they have already. And Dobbins has definitely broken away. Gus Edwards is now starting to fade in terms of touches. Because remember, week 1 and 2, Gus Edwards actually had more touches, more carries than J.K. Dobbins in both games. But now they're like, okay, why are we giving the ball to Gus still? So, go Dobbins here and then drop Swift for Justice Hill.
I don't think I'm there yet. I mean, Justice, okay, you can throw Justice Hill in your lineup and you'll get some points, but
it's no upside. I mean, look, you can drop Swift for Rashawn Johnson if you think he's going to take over. Okay, take that chance. But Justice Hill, nah. Live wire is 1 and 2. Murray, Stevenson, Mason, Metcalf, London, McBride, Mooney, Dell, bench. Any changes? Got J.K. Dobbins on the bench. Kirk. Okay. Well, look, he has CMC and Puka.
Well, that hurt. That definitely hurts. And also, I'm guessing you lost last week because your starting running back got you 0, basically. And your other starting running back was good, but not great. So I'm guessing, even with Metcalf and London, probably wasn't enough. I'm guessing. Mason, Metcalf, London, McBride. Obviously, you're playing Murray. 2 flex, Mooney, Dell. I'm playing Kirk over Mooney for sure, and probably over Dell.
I think the tricky one here is Dobbins. We just talked about Dobbins. I mean, obviously you're still starting Mason. I think I would still keep Ramondre in there.
Yeah, no, I'm starting Ramondre and Mason. I'm starting Metcalf in London. I'm starting McBride and Murray. The issue here for me is the flexes because I feel like it's between Mooney, Dell, Dobbins, and Kirk. But again, Kirk is in a really good spot this week. He showed signs of life last week. I know it's Christian Kirk and he could always kill you, but man, I mean, Dell's been killing us.
Dell's been killing you.
Mooney is fine. I might go Kirk and Dobbins here, but honestly, any 4 of these guys, it's between those 4 guys.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning Kirk and Dobbins for the upside. They seem to have better matchups this week and just more potential for a big game. So I'm fine with that. And let's go to Killer Wolf Kills. That makes sense.
Right.
I mean,
if you're a killer wolf, that's what you do.
That's what you do. Pollard and Bucky for Etienne and Benson.
Yeah, I'd probably take the Etienne side. I'm still going to put Etienne ahead of Pollard here for sure.
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee Bucky Irving take. Now we heard today Todd Bowles kind of backtracking a little bit, no, Rachaad White's still the guy. We'll see, but
yeah. Well, they asked him because they're like, okay, you can't stop talking about Bucky Irving, so is he the starter now? And he's like, oh, no, what are you talking about? Why would he start? It's
I know. It's whatever.
It's pretty clear he's got a thing for Bucky Irving, so which is good. But still, let's not get carried away. How good of a running offense is Tampa Bay in the first place? So
right, it's not like Rachaad White's disappearing. And look, Benson could also start taking on more work as the season goes on. So give me Etienne and Benson.
Yeah, Etienne Benson. It's close. I mean, it's fair, but let's do that. Daniel Barnes, rest of the season. Okay. Derek Carr, Justin Fields, Caleb Williams.
I'm just going to go Caleb Williams. I liked him before the season. I liked what I saw. I mean, Carr, nope, not doing it. Look, Carr will probably have a great game this week because now nobody's starting him again. Now everybody's like, nope, made that mistake, and now probably. But don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Fields is fine. It looks like, I guess, he's keeping the job. They keep winning, so they can't really bench him. But I'm going to go with the upside of Caleb.
Yes, Caleb, definitely. Fields is doing great in real life, but not as great in fantasy, and Carr is still their Carr. Would you stream the KC defense? Yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah,
definitely.
I like KC a lot. Yes.
Rob, half PPR has AR, Brees, Gibbs, and Kyron. Nice. Would you trade one of them for Lamar and Zay Flowers, or keep them hoping that AR will turn it around. So he can get Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson for one of those running backs.
If it's Kyron, he's probably the one I trade away. Not that I'm down on Kyron by any stretch, but I think, like, I don't want to give up Reese. I still don't want to give up Gibbs. Yeah, I think I would give up Kyron for Lamar and Zay and not have to deal with AR.
I think this is worth it because you're getting a solid high-end wide receiver too.
Yep.
Yeah, might as well. Let's do it. J.J. Thomas giving Bijan and Pittman for Gibbs, Hill, and Ferguson. What do you think? Tyreek Hill? Yeah, I would do this.
Yeah, I think you got to do this. I don't think the drop from Bijan to Gibbs is that big at all. And look, when Tua comes back, Hill is going to be significantly better than Pittman, and you get Ferguson just to throw like one of the actually good tight ends. Somebody's like, yeah, I don't need him. Get him out of here. Yeah,
and
do it.
Take it
for sure.
I'd take this. Definitely take this.
For sure.
All right. I like that deal. Giwa again, Braylon, Bucky, Ayuk, or Jennings. I mean, it's got to be one of the receivers. This is you knew this was coming. People would be like, "Is Jennings the wide receiver one in San Francisco now?"
I was just about to say one of these is not like the other, and the one is not Juwan Jennings. No. Spoiler alert: the one is not Juwan Jennings. I am not benching Brandon Ayuk. I mean, look, you look last week. Well, I don't have just last week, but I mean, Brandon Ayuk still had 10 targets in this offense. It's not like Brandon Ayuk was invisible while Juwan Jennings was lighting it up. Yeah, I'm still going Brandon Ayuk.
It's still Brandon Ayuk. Agree. Look, Jennings is startable. Ayuk is more than startable. I know you're disappointed so far. I get it, but he still should be the guy. Daniel Hart and Chuba says pick 2. Chuba, Singletary, Moss, Najee.
I'm going Chuba and Singletary. I will say all these guys are interesting this week. These are all interesting running backs to me. But I've talked about Singletary a few times tonight. He's going to be okay. Spoiler alert: he's on the Booms video tomorrow. I think Singletary is going to go off against the Cowboys. And I mean, how do you bench Chuba after last week? Not just that he looked good running, but 5 catches. Like he's going to catch the ball. He's going to get almost all the carries and touches that matter. I'm going Chuba and Singletary.
Yeah, I think the one I'm not considering here is Moss. I think all the other 3 could have big games. Singletary, I know you have to, right? You just have to keep rolling him out there. So to me, it's tough between Najee and Chuba. I know Chuba was better last week. I feel like Najee could have a big game this week, but you should probably go with Chuba because he actually is catching passes and Najee isn't. So I really like Najee this week, but I would still go Chuba Singletary as well. All right, and then Carl needs some help. Gotta set the lineups now if you're going camping. I get it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. I actually don't go camping very much. But second flex, maybe rank in case Marvin Harrison questionable.
Yeah, he was limited today with a thigh thing, but I'm not worried about Marvin Harrison. Don't take Marvin Harrison. Like I would rather take the 0 from Marvin Harrison than play Dowdle, Rashawn, Mostert, or Addison.
Yeah. And it's funny how he kind of qualified every one of those other options. Like, oh, this guy's hurt. This guy's terrible. This guy's, yeah, no. No, don't worry about it. You're good. And
if you're out camping and you have no service and on Sunday morning they're like, he's out, oh well. You got a 0 from Harrison. You can get a 0 from these guys just as easily.
Yep. But I like the forward thinking. Get that lineup in now. Prioritize. Look, if you guys happen to be, I don't know, camping, heading out, doing something over the weekend, you're not sure you're going to be able to set your lineups. That's why we're helping you now tonight. Also, make sure you get your pick'ems in, and I'm talking about underdog. Because also, before tomorrow night, the Cowboys-Giants game kicks off, you can get this free pick. Dak Prescott getting 1 yard. That's a freebie for you. So try it out now. And if you are a new customer to Underdog because you haven't signed up, made an account yet, you get this free pick. You get other free stuff, which includes free money. Not kidding here. Up to $1,000 of bonus cash will go in your account as soon as you make your initial deposit if you use code ENDGAME when you sign up. That's right. They give you a 50% deposit match all the way up to a limit of $1,000. So you get free money, you get a free pick, and then you get other free stuff. They always have profit boost tokens and all sorts of other free picks and promotions, some gimmies. That happens, of course, after you're signed up as well. So check it out if you haven't already. Get those pick'ems. And honestly, I always do this, and Chris and I, we always talk about this, is sometimes those early week lines, the ones they like on Monday when they first set them, we look at it and we're like, how can this be? Like we like lock it in before it changes. Yeah. So, all right, let's get back to the super chats because we have plenty. And by the way, daily reminder, if you did super chat, then we will definitely answer your question. If we haven't answered it yet, it's because there are a lot of others probably in line in front of you. So nothing personal. We're just getting them done in order. We're going to try to give everyone their due time, but we will pick it up here. Alex March. Hertz, Purdy, Jacobs, Connor, B-Rob, Najee, Lamb, Harrison, Neighbors, Deontay Cooper, Ertz, Coleman, Mooney. Trades?
I mean, you say better running back or tight end, but you got Jacobs, Connor, Brian Robinson, Najee. I mean, yeah, you could get a better tight end, but again, I'm not trading for a better tight end. I'd rather just stream tight end. If there was ever a year to stream tight end, this is it. Because you could just find better options on the way. You can at least find as good of options on the waiver wire. Even the waiver wire, like even as bad as Mike Gesicki and Hunter Henry were last week, they were still comparable to Travis Kelce, Sam Laporta, Mark Andrews. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the year to trade for a tight end. You could maybe trade for a running back, but I don't mind your running backs at all. And your wide receivers are stacked. I know you said this earlier, Pierre, just a little bit ago. Like, I always do hate, like, oh, give me some trade advice. And I look at your team and I'm like, you don't need to do anything. But really, sometimes you just don't need to do anything. Like, you don't always, I mean, unless you can pull off a 2-for-1. Like, if you could trade, like, Deontay Johnson and Najee and get CeeDee Lamb. Or you could trade like Deontay Johnson and Brian Robinson and get Breece Hall or something like, you know what I mean? Like to get like an abs, like one of the best. That's really it. That's really all you could do here.
Yeah. Your only potential weakness here is tight end. That's everybody else who plays fantasy football this year. So
yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's do Matthew Tesorero, Braylon or Javonte.
It's got to be Braylon at this point, sadly. Braylon Allen. Not even a good spot for Javonte this week either.
Yes. Just go with Braylon Allen. I mean, at least he's scoring touchdowns. This is a very interesting one. So I'll put this up. I know we're still doing super chats here. From Michael Penny. Thank you, by the way. Was offered Jefferson, but he wants Barkley. Who are you taking?
This is, what do you need? What do you need? You need the running back or you need the wide receiver? We're probably talking about, like, again, we talked about this last night a little bit, like, because we were talking about the best ball resurrection if you're drafting right now, or somebody asked, they had something. Like Jefferson, Barkley, the top 2 picks probably in fantasy right now if you were drafting today. So what do you need? If you need wide receiver more than you need running back, take Jefferson. If you're hurting a running back, don't trade away Barkley.
Yeah, they're both good. I mean, I can't say yes or no. Exactly. I mean, they're both good. So, all right. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to get my place back. Trying to make sure we do these in order. Sometimes I'm moving back and forth and I lose my place. Which, by the way, I just noticed Roberto's in the chat. What's up, Roberto?
Well, here, I'll help you. This was the next super chat, and I can see it highlighted really quick and easy.
Do you trust Love or go with Dalton?
I still
I
go
mean,
Love.
the Minnesota defense, for what it's worth, this is a legit question. Minnesota defense has been great, but you still can
True.
mostly trust Love.
Yes, I still go Love here. I mean, look, if Dalton does that again, 300 yards, okay, maybe then it's like, okay, maybe now I start considering Dalton over Love. But I think for right now, I'm still going Love.
Yeah, I still think you got to go Love. I would not be surprised if Dalton does what he did last week, honestly. But let's see. All right. Anthony's in the chat too. What's up, Anthony? Glad you're feeling better.
What's up, Anthony?
LEJ End traded away Charbonnet, Hill, and Goddard for Mixon, St. Brown, and Njoku.
I'm fine with this because look, you're Hill and St. Brown, like, okay, you got an elite wide receiver back. You've got a tight end. Like, okay, I think they said there's a chance Goddard could play. I mean, Njoku could play this week. So, okay, maybe you don't have Njoku this week. And look, Goddard might go off this week. So if he does, don't kick yourself like, oh, what have I done? Because A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith will be back. And like Charbonnet maybe has one more week against Detroit, of all things, and then Walker probably back. So you got Mixon who should be back. So yeah, I think this is definitely a good gamble.
I do. I love this thought process. This is exactly what we preach. Looking forward, not backward,
Yes.
right? Oh, look, you got it last week. Oh, this week. Okay, rest of season, who's going to be more valuable? Probably Njoku over Goddard, right? Not that this is the determining factor here, but St. Brown Hill, like pretty equivalent there. Mixon should definitely have more value than Charbonnet. So I definitely think it's a good gamble. You might not love it this week,
Right?
because two of those guys probably aren't playing, but this is smart. Charles Berger. Pick 3, Godwin, Amon-Ra, Neighbors, Jennings, Pittman, Devontae Smith, J-Mo.
It has to be the first 3.
Yeah.
It has to be the first 3. Even if Devonta Smith plays, I think it's got to be the first 3.
Yeah, and with this group, you can pretty easily say no to Jennings.
Yeah,
Antoine Cruz. Or you should easily say no to Jennings. Antoine wants to know if you could sell, another Jennings question, Tyreek Hill and Jennings for Puka and Rice.
Yeah, I'm doing this. I mean, Rice has been great. I don't think he's going to, like, all of a sudden get bad. Puka will be back, and when he gets back, he should be good. Again, Jennings. So you're basically, I look at this trade as like Puka and Rice for Tyreek Hill. Just give me Puka and Rice. Give me Puka and Rice, honestly.
Yeah, it's the only risk here is, of course, Puka injuring, re-injuring himself, but still, get Rice. I think it's fine. I think this is a good trade. Let's see, Tris. What's up, Tristram? In Dynasty, how crazy are we going for Jaden Daniels?
I mean, if it's super flex, I'm guessing people are going to go pretty crazy for Jaden Daniels, right? If it's one QB, I wouldn't go too crazy. But super flex, yeah, I'm guessing people are going to start going crazy.
All right. Which, by the way, he's also giving a shout out. Thank you, Tris. Thank you for being here. I mean, I know he's a Washington fan, of course. He's got to be feeling pretty good about the Commanders. Sir Boomer, by the way, doing a little victory lap. He's saying that you've been bullied into liking Monty.
It's not that I've been bullied in. I'm just like, when a guy's been good, You got to just say, okay, look, if he's going to keep scoring touchdowns, I mean, there probably will come a time here where he will stop. But for right now, you just got to keep riding.
I agree. Patrick C. Concern for Kamara. Backup is Bucky. How concerned? Not too much because it's Wednesday. If he misses practice tomorrow, are you concerned?
Yeah, if he doesn't practice at all tomorrow, then the concern level is getting up there.
All right. So, I mean, at least Bucky is usable. So keep an eye out. I would say I would definitely be more interested in Bucky Irving than like Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
All right. How about Javonte Williams? Christopher Evans wants to know, is he droppable? I say yes.
Yeah. I mean, I would drop him like for peanuts, like just for like whatever. But yeah, if there's somebody decent on the waiver wire, he's definitely droppable.
Yes, definitely droppable. Money Mitch, 12 team, rest of the season, Burrow or Lamar. He says he has a stack with Chase. Wondering if you should try and trade Oh, okay. I see. He has Burrow. He's wondering if he should trade for Lamar.
No, if I have Burrow, I'm not going to trade for a QB. I mean, yes, I prefer Lamar rest of the season to Burrow, definitely, but like I'm not going to give up one of my good players just to go get Lamar. And like Burrow is not the reason you're 0-3. I mean, okay, maybe the first 2 weeks he wasn't very good. I mean, he was okay week 2, but like Burrow was great last week. Burrow had nothing. Burrow and Chase were great last week. So if you're 0-3, you lost last week for other reasons than your quarterback.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. And I'm looking. It says he goes for Lamar to my 0-3 league mate. I guess he's saying his league mate is 0-3, so he might be willing to give up Lamar. But no, I think you're fine. I think you're fine here. Just hold.
Yeah, but exactly. Why would your league mate want Burrow over Lamar when they're 0-3? But
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's the part. Again, like, what is he thinking? There's no way to know that. Look, maybe your 0-3 league mate will want to trade you somebody else you can take advantage of. I mean, help him out.
Yes.
D, who could I trade DJ Moore at receiver for an RB? Is that what you're asking? What RB? I think he's asking what RB you can get for DJ Moore.
Yeah, so I think you're probably looking at, because again, DJ Moore still, even though this could be the week where DJ Moore definitely pops off, he hasn't yet, so his value's a little low. So, I mean, you might be able to get guys like Aaron Jones, Monty, Kenneth Walker. You could probably get guys like Ramondre, Brian Robinson, Tony Pollard, Dobbins, if you're into that kind of thing. Guys like that.
Yeah, but look, this hasn't come out yet, but the boom, I have DJ Moore. I think he could go off this week. At the very least, have a very solid week. So if you have DJ Moore, I'm gonna hold him and start him this week because his trade value could shoot up. Andres Gregorio, welcome back. One flex, 2 receiver, 2 running backs, traded Aaron Jones and Wilson for CD and Steele. Okay, what do you think?
I certainly don't think it's a bad deal. I mean, you're getting CD, so that's great. And at least you got Steele, so you got a serviceable running back for the time being. I don't feel like I can't say it's like definitely a win for you, but I also like it's definitely not a loss for you. I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine too. And so, I mean, you're saying traded, like you already did this. So obviously you're starting CD and Flowers. And this week, I think Deontay is your flex. And then Jacobs and Najee. You're not starting Carson Steele, are you?
No, not over. Well, no.
Over Najee? No, I like
Probably
Najee.
not. Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine. All right, Ricardo Andrade. All right, quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, and a flex. Stroud or Daniels?
I think Stroud's in a good enough spot this week. I'll go Stroud. But man,
I know
it could backfire. But he's in a great spot this week. I think you got to trust Stroud one more time.
Yeah, I'm gonna trust my gut and saying Stroud has a big week. I think he could. I mean, it's the Jags. Come on. Pick 2 receivers in a flex. Okay, Olave, DJ Moore, Godwin, Reed.
The first 3. Olave, DJ Moore, Godwin.
Yep. And then rate my trade. McLaurin, Andrews, both for Kincaid. Yeah, this is what we tried to not do. I mean, honestly, Andrews per Kincaid probably would not be great, but it would have been almost enough. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. You just traded for Kincaid. Don't now start Likely over. Like, I hope you didn't trade for Kincaid just to play Likely. You're gonna play Kincaid, but yeah, like this is what I'm saying. Like, I get it. Like I said, I drafted Andrews in 1 league, and I feel the pain of Andrews. I feel the pain of Andrews. But I just feel like I can just go get, again, Conklin, Kmet, Ertz, whoever, the tight end du jour today, and get comparable production to Kincaid every week, or any tight end, not just Kincaid, like any tight end, honestly. I don't need to trade away a guy like Terry McLaurin. So, yeah, I can't rate this trade very high. Be very low.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious now. The Bills are just going to spread the ball around. That's
Yep.
just what they're going to do. That's the plan. And it's working. So, yeah, you can drop likely. Antonio Arisa. How criminal was the trade? All right, got Nico for a pair of Broncos.
How was this even? How was this? Who even accepted this?
I was gonna say.
And then you traded Zach Moss for Jordan. Who is it? Who are you playing with?
Broncos fans.
Are you playing with like bot? Yeah, Broncos fans, Broncos and Bengals fans. Are you playing with like bots?
This is like one of those trades that like in Madden and the GM that you try to do and it rejects it. It's like it doesn't let you. That's pretty criminal. Traded Zach Moss for Jordan Mason. Keep trading. Keep doing this as long as you can get away with it before they have you kicked out of the league.
Right.
Oh man. Okay. Let's go to the next one. It's Brandon Ahmed. Watch the QB video. Still not sure between Brock, Gino, or Dalton.
I think I still go Brock here. I like Brock this week. I think he'll be fine. I mean, you could also, like, it's close between him. Actually, really all these guys. I see why you're indecisive because I think all these guys are pretty close for me this week. But I think I still get Brock, especially if Kittle's back too. That helps Brock. I think I'm still going Brock here, but man, I see why you're indecisive. Even I'm indecisive.
I think the one I can sit here, or I mean, you're going to sit too, but I think Gino, I'm going to rule him out. Biggest risk. The Lions' pass defense has been pretty good. I do think Dalton has potentially the highest upside, but Brock is your safer, smarter play. So let's go Brock. Eddie J. Should I trade Jennings and Ford for B-Rob?
Yeah, I would. I think it's a good time to trade Jennings. And like I said earlier, Ford is fine. He's one of those guys like, yeah, I need a running back, but give me Brian Robinson.
Yeah, I think that's fine. And this is interesting. He needs an RB2 because he traded Connor and Kelsey for CeeDee Lamb. You like that?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. I would. Well, Kelsey is, I mean, look, we don't really expect any sort of turnaround here. The numbers are just backing up that, it's getting a little dusty.
Yep.
All right, Zach Miles, Akers, Hubbard, Higgins in the flex. Who?
Okay, Hubbard is your very high floor player this week. Higgins is your ceiling play, but I'd probably just go Chuba because I feel good enough about Chuba this week. I'd probably just go Chuba here, even though I do like Higgins. Probably just go Chuba.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to put Akers first or second on this list, so I'll just say Akers is last. I'll go Hubbard just to avoid the Higgins repeat, just in case anybody forgot he was a disappointment last week. All right. Brother, I'm just seeing Roberto's comment. Keep it clean, Roberto. There could be children watching. Jacob Ibarra didn't write the message in Super Chat. Trade Diggs and Rachaad White for Pollard and Adams.
Yeah, give me Pollard and Adams. Definitely here.
Yeah. I mean, both running backs are just kind of there right now. This one's pretty close, I would say. It's pretty close, but I'll lean Pollard Adams. Christian Tapia on full PPR. Hurts, Mason, Monty, Jason, Jennings, Goddard, Mooney, Steelers, a kicker. Ayuk is on the bench. Probably swap Ayuk out for Jennings, yeah.
Yeah.
Braylon Allen, Ferguson, Mayfield, Devontae Smith, and one of the Jay Williamses.
Mason Monty, fine. Ayuk for Jennings. I mean, if you really want Jennings in your lineup, I guess I'm okay. I mean, you could probably play Jennings over Mooney. If you really want Jennings in your lineup, you could put him in over Mooney.
True.
I will say if Devonta Smith clears concussion, though, he's in my lineup over. Well,
over everybody.
Yeah, he's in my lineup over Jennings for sure.
Agree. If Smith, well, actually, here's a fair question. If Smith plays, then would you put Ferguson over Goddard? Or you just keep Goddard?
I'd probably still keep Goddard. I mean, it would knock him down a little bit, but he was still having a nice game even before Devonta Smith went out. He just exploded after Devonta Smith went out, but he was still having a nice game before that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, there you go. Joey Del Rosario. Nick Chubb. Expectations.
We don't see him for quite a while, and then when we do, he's very limited and very ineffective. And look, this Browns offensive line that was supposed to be one of the best is decimated and looking like not looking very good either. So, yeah, I don't really have high expectations for Nick Chubb this year at all.
Nope. Expectation, it'll be a while, and even when he plays, it might be a little disappointing. Okay, let's do real quick before we go to the next super chat. Coy Johnson, 0-3. Let's help him out. Should he trade Zay Flowers and Josh Jacobs for Ayuk and Eckler?
Well, see, this isn't even going to help you because you're getting a running back who's going to get you a 0 this week because he's already been ruled out. That's Austin Eckler. So I get that you're 0-3 and you want to do something, but I don't think Zay Flowers and Josh Jacobs, they've both been better than Brandon Ayuk this year.
Right. You would be downgrading basically. Okay, fine. Maybe Ayuk is Ayuk and Zay Flowers, but you're not upgrading either way, and you're definitely downgrading running back. Even if Eckler was 1,000% healthy, it's still a big downgrade. Yeah. So, no, don't do this. Robert Maris, Deontay, Shaheed, Jennings, Odunze, 2.
Deontay and Odunze, but I'm okay if you want to go Deontay and Jennings because of what happened last week. I'm okay if you're like, I can't bench Jennings after last week.
Yeah, I'm going Deontay and Odunze. Those two stand out for me. Max says, don't ask. But 12-team PPR, 2 flex, Kyler, CMC, Ramondre, Rashad White, Swift, Brooks, Chubb, CD, Tyreek, Nico, and Harrison. And then Kittle and Kincaid. Okay. What's your biggest reach for trading away CMC? So what can he get back, I guess, is the question.
Well, it's tough because now people are freaking out about this platelet thing in Germany. I keep saying it. Here's the issue, though, because, if I'm trading away CMC, I need to get, at least, maybe not a stud, obviously not a CeeDee Lamb, a Brees, or a Saquon or somebody like that, but I need to at least get, a very good player, like a Rashee Rice, a Kyron Williams, a DK Metcalf, a Marvin Harrison Jr., Nico Collins, guys like that. Not a lot of people are going to give you that for CMC right now. Because they're like, whoa, this guy's good, and I don't know when we're going to see CMC. And I'm not going to, but then I keep telling people, what you should do when you go trade for CMC is trade, 2 good players, whatever, a Ramondre Stevenson and whoever wide receiver. But that's not what you want to do if you have CMC. So you could try to get one of those guys, but you're probably just kind of stuck with CMC for right now.
Yeah. I mean, hey, good news is you're very stacked at receiver / flex. So you don't have to sweat the CMC thing so much. Oh, Swift. So see what you can get. I mean, that's the thing. It really depends, right? There's some leagues where people are like, I'm not touching CMC. Why would I do, and then some leagues where people are like, oh, I can get CMC with only giving away my starting running back and receiver. It's like Richard Anapolsky, full PPR needs RB1, RB2, and a flex. Kamara, DK, Jones, Jacobs. So sit one, sort of.
I mean, you can't sit Kamara, you can't sit DK. It's between Jones and Jacobs.
I mean, I guess if Kamara is hurt, this makes your decision easier. But if Kamara plays, I think you got to play him.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This is so close. Maybe Aaron Jones revenge game.
I like the Aaron Jones revenge game. I don't know. I might sit Jacobs.
Yeah, it's between those two, and it's tough.
Yeah, might sit Jacobs. Jordan Love coming back. They won't have to run the ball as much. Minnesota's defense has been good. Maybe that's the tilting point. Sherry Saldivar. Would you trade away Brooks to get Stevenson?
Probably. Because again, I mean, the word we got is like, what was it? What did they say? What did they say about Jonathan Brooks? Like, he's clearing his last hurdle or something like that, or what?
Yeah, something vague, like he's getting ready to think about maybe practicing.
The final stages. He's in the final stages, but how long is the final stage? How long are the final stages? And again, with Andy Dalton, Chuba looks great. If Chuba continues to look great, there's no rush to put Brooks out there. There's no rush to give him significant touches. So just give me Stevenson at this point.
Yeah, for a guy like Stevenson, I'll take it. I wouldn't trade away Brooks to get, like a Bucky Irving right now or somebody like that who's like, still a little iffy. But all right, Humberto. Thank you, Humberto. Got the membership. Let's get to Chocolate Rain. It's a PPR league, pick 3: Waddle, Godwin, Dell, Jennings. So who sits?
I think Waddle's got to sit, unfortunately. Even if it's Snoop Huntley, does that really make us feel better about him? No, Waddle sits.
It's got to be Waddle here. I know Dell's been disappointing, but what has Waddle done? What is he going to do? No. All right, and then pick 2: Achane, Ford, White, or Steele.
Achane and Steele, I think. Although, Ford is in a really good spot this week. But Steele's on the Chiefs and Ford's on the.
Yeah, but still, it goes against the Chargers. That run defense, that might be a bad spot for him.
It is a bad spot for Steele. And look, Ford gets the Raiders, who are currently giving up the 30th most points to running back, basically the bottom 3 against running backs, I should say. I might go for it.
I'm not wanting to put Ford in all lineups, and I think this might be a good time to try to move on from him if he has value, but I would put him this week. I would put him over Steele. Yeah. Hector Rubio, Jameson Williams, or the new JJ, Jawan Jennings?
It feels like it should be Jameson, but this is a really bad spot for Jameson against the Seattle secondary. It does not match up well against them. I mean, he can always hit a home run, but I guess so can Jennings. Now, so just go Jennings. Just go Jennings here.
Gotta play matchups. Apparently, I know this might be the last week this happens, but let's go Jennings. CB420, welcome back. Would you trade the Commanders duo for Olave and Caleb Williams?
Yes.
That's interesting.
I mean, yeah, probably. I think you're getting a big upgrade at wide receiver here. Although, I think the only wide receiver I talked about more than McLaurin this year was Chris Godwin. So I should be like all in now that it happened. should be like, yeah, this is it. I told you guys, but I'm still like, oh, let's see. But I still think Olave is a big upgrade over Terry, and
Yeah.
Caleb should be fine. So I think I take it to get Olave.
This one, could wind up being very even by the time the season's over. So it's fair. Depends which side you like better. I do slightly prefer the Olave Williams side. I'm still a believer in Caleb Williams. Kenneth Uko, what is up? Would you trade either AJ or Rice with Ford for Bijan or Achane?
No. Well, actually, maybe. I would do Rice and Ford for Bijan.
Yeah. If you need a running back, which apparently he does because he's got Zamir White and Jalen Warren, and then Ford, I know. It's like, do you really want to roll with Ford the rest of the season as a starter? Probably not.
No.
I would do Rice and Ford for Bijan.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think AJ Brown should be enough by himself. Well, but he's hurt right now, so maybe you don't throw him. Yeah, if you can do Rice and Ford for Bijan, do that.
There you go. All right, Will Davies. Standard flex, Scary Terry, Brian Thomas, Waddle, Braylon Allen, Spears. Well,
yeah, I think one of these are not like the other again, and it's Scary Terry. I think he's just a tier above these guys.
Yes. Just go Terry. The Professor missed my question. Okay, well, here's a question. 12 people, full PPR start. Daniels, we did this question. Daniels, Mahomes.
Going Daniels, yep, we did this. And I'm going McLaurin and Shakir. I just think it's a bad spot for JMO this week. I mean, again, he could always hit on that one long play, and then you're like, oh, why didn't I start him? But, man, without that, I think it's going to be a tough week for JMO. So I'm going to go Daniels, McLaurin, and Shakir.
Yep. Keep in mind, guys, I know.
Early.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. This was like an hour ago. So we're going to we'll catch up. Let's do at least, we'll move on a little quicker here. Guys, if you did super chat, don't worry. We're going to get to you. Eric Sanchez did drop one. So he says, League mate wants Brooks is offering Moss. Who do you like?
I mean, again, I'd probably just take Moss here. Still a guy in Cincinnati. I don't know. Maybe I'll regret this. Maybe Brooks will come on at some point. But again, with Chuba looking good, I don't know. I might just take Moss.
If you're going to play him, like you need him in your starting lineup at some point, or even if not this week, then next week for buys or something, like if you're thin at running back, okay. If not, if this is just bench player for bench player, keep the upside of Brooks. That's what I would say. Bed Bosch. Pollard owner, trade Keon for Spears?
I don't think so. I mean, is this like handcuffing Pollard here, I guess? I think there's still potential for Keon Coleman as the season goes on. I think I'd rather just have Keon
Coleman. Yeah, it's fine. I don't care either way, honestly. I think I'm fine taking Spears just so you have that insurance if you want. Again, if you're especially not super deep at running back. I'm just still not expecting much from Keon Coleman except for the occasional touchdown, the occasional big play. D-Ton, 8 D-Tons. Would you drop Likely for Conklin, Njoku, or Strange?
Yeah. I would definitely drop him for Njoku.
Yep.
But I would also drop him for Conklin. I'd also drop him for Strange if I have Ingram, just in case Ingram's out again.
Yeah, exactly. Either one. Any of these, but if Njoku's coming back, do it for Njoku. Gabriel Polk, 18. All right. Whoa. Here's where we're at. We're deciding between Juwan Jennings or Tyreek Hill. Or Pollard.
I do like Pollard to bounce back this week. he's in a good spot to bounce back against your not very good Miami Dolphins run defense.
Not at all.
But again, it's like I know it's probably very hard to bench Juwan Jennings after last week. So I'm okay if you want to go Juwan Jennings, but I think if it's him going Pollard. And it's probably even harder to put Pollard over Juwan Jennings because Pollard was awful last week.
Just a reminder, this is where we're at. Tyreek Hill is third of these three options. Juwan Jennings and Pollard. And it doesn't say if it's PPR. If it's standard, you go Pollard or half. I personally might just go Juwan Jennings, but all right, I'm getting depressed now. Diesel Dagger. Are we dropping Zeke or White for Rashawn Johnson? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Zeke. Zeke is like doing I don't understand. Like Zeke peaked like week 1. He's gotten worse every game. Like he's gotten less usage, less yards, less space. Like he peaked in week 1 and it's just been like worse. Like he's going the wrong way. He's going the wrong way.
Cut ties. Martin Orlando. Start 2. Aaron Jones, Brian Robinson, Etienne Pollard. Also has Bucky Irvin.
I know I just said I like Pollard, but I like these guys more. Aaron Jones and I think I still got to go Etienne over Brian Robinson. Let me look a little deeper at Etienne. You can talk while I look.
These are all solid options. I mean, you could start any two of these and not feel bad. I would say with these, Aaron Jones is the one I like the best, and then Etienne's the one that I kind of feel the most nervous about. Robinson's been pretty solid week after week, so it's like, do you want to take what Robinson gives you, or do you just take a chance on the big game from Pollard, which could happen?
Yeah, I think actually I'm looking at it more now. Not a good matchup for Etienne this week. No Eckler. I might just go Aaron Jones and Brian Robinson.
Yep, I'm fine with that. I would like to be in on Pollard, but he burned me last week, so you know how that goes. Sway, Nico, and Monty for CD. Too much?
Yeah, I think that's too much.
A little too much. If you can get something
it needs
back.
to be a wide receiver, like a tier down from Nico.
There you go. Western Goods got the membership too. Thank you. And then Josue Hidalgo. Trade Gary Wilson and Bucky for Bijan.
Yeah, give me Bijan here and by a mile.
Yes, definitely do this. I don't think it really matters who else you have, but yeah, if you can get Bijan for those two guys, do it. Do it. Beamy Studios. All right, who do I put in the flex? Jennings, Dobbins, Jason, or Etienne? Got to just pick one.
I know I just said Etienne a tough matchup, but I think it's between him and JSN for me. Maybe Dobbins has some consideration as well. It doesn't say it's PPR.
Oh yeah, it is full PPR.
It does say? Okay, full PPR. I mean, JSN is a great matchup this week against the Lions.
Yeah, I think he's got the highest upside. I mean, you roll the dice on, like none of these guys are sure things. JSN, I think, has the upside. I'm okay with Dobbins if you want to take what he gives you and more of a floor play. But it's full PPR. I think I'm just going to go with the receiver.
Yeah, Etienne and Dobbins feel like the floor plays. JSN for the upside.
Yeah. All right. And then Thomas Hennon. All right. Here's a big one. Trade Cup, Marvin Harrison, and Bucky for Devontae Smith, Gibbs, and Brian Thomas.
All right. I prefer Devonta to Cup. Gibbs and Marvin are close. Bucky and Brian Thomas are close. So I guess I'll take the Devonta side slightly.
I'll take the Devontae side because you don't have to worry about Cup staying healthy anymore. You got a for sure upgraded running back with Gibbs. So yeah, I would take the Devontae Gibbs side. Yes. All right. Guess who is back in the house? It's been a while. Talked about camping earlier. Bear Camp Cabin Rentals.
What's up?
It's been too long. All right. So please pick one. DJ Moore or Deontay Johnson. I know.
Come
Give us the
on.
tough one.
Come on.
Like them both.
Yes. I picked both. I picked both of them.
That's cheating.
They're both great this week, but I'm going to give Deontay Johnson the edge again because Keenan could be back. Romo Dunde is there. Who is threatening Deontay Johnson this week? Xavier Leggett, Jonathan Mingo, Tommy Tremble. These guys both are probably going to be really good, but give me Deontay Johnson slightly.
I mean, I got DJ Moore as a boom. I think he could have a huge game. Had a bigger game last week. Had a better spot this week. I love DJ Moore. Deontay Johnson is probably safer. So, yeah. Probably just go.
The running back one is tough too. I think you got to start Monty, Chuba, and Etienne.
Maybe I'm overreacting to not just last week, but so far the first 3 games of the season. I'm gonna sit Etienne here. Honestly, I just don't.
Etienne hasn't been bad though. You know, Etienne is like one of only I don't know how many running backs. You know, with 47 expected fantasy points, his usage is good.
Part of it too is this week the spot these in going to the road to Houston. I feel like they're gonna get right. I just feel like game script's gonna work against them as well.
I mean, it could. Definitely could.
Gut feel. That's more of a gut feel thing.
I don't think I can bench. Me personally, Bear Camp, Cabin Rentals, I can't bench Etienne for Chuba. Personally. But it's close. It's definitely closer than it should be.
All right. So Monty for sure, and then your choice of the others.
Yep.
All right, we're both going Deontay. All right, but that's really close. Western Goods does have a question here. 12-team, 2 running backs, 1 flex. Jones, Jacobs, Monty, Moss, or Jennings. 2 running backs and a flex.
I think I'm just playing the first 3 running backs, honestly. Jones, Jacobs, Monty. I can't sit those guys right now.
Yeah.
I'm just playing the first 3 running backs.
Agree. Tight end, I have Henry and Gesicki, or could go Conklin or Fance.
Yeah, drop Gesicki, pick up Conklin, and play Conklin.
There you go. And then
Conklin could be this week's Henry or Gesicki, but I mean, might as well gamble on him.
Yeah. They and then you're good at everywhere else. All right. Well, there you go. That was an easy one. Let's get to Robert Perky, 10-team PPR. Pick 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a flex. Got Saquon, Mason, Gibbs, Ford, Allen, J.K., Ayuk, Godwin, Evans, Worthy, Jameson.
All right, Saquon and Gibbs at running back. Godwin and Evans at wide receiver. Oh man. Thinking PPR, I'm going to go Ayuk over Mason, but that one is close for the flex. Talking about the flex.
Yeah, Saquon and Gibbs have to start. Godwin, Evans. Evans should bounce back, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Evans this week. Okay, if Evans doesn't have a big game this week, we're in full-fledged panic mode. This is a smash spot for Evans this week. He's the only reason, like you guys don't know this, of course, but we don't usually put guys that we just call must starts in our videos. We kind of like say, okay, we can't put that guy on the boom because it doesn't make sense if I tell you, like, you know, CeeDee Lamb is going to boom. It's like, okay, thanks. Thanks, Mr. You know what I mean? But if I could, I would have put Mike Evans on the boom. This looks like a boom spot for Mike Evans for sure.
Definitely. All right, there you go. I agree. Ayuk over Mason. That's close. Mike Blackburn needs a crystal ball. All right, let's see.
So do I.
There's a lot going on here. Crystal ball, rest of the season stash, bye week, playoff breakout, who to get on bench. Okay, so Jalen McMillan, Jalen Polk, Luke McCaffrey, Mason Tipton. That's our first Mason Tipton reference of the season.
Wow.
Jordan, not going to happen. Whittington. All right. Who do you stash?
You can give up on that. I'm going McCaffrey. Here. I think he was the one I was kind of starting to draft in best ball after the Dotson trade. Look, 6 catches, 62 yards on Monday night. Had 3 catches, 44 yards on Monday night. My bad. But he's starting to get. That's what he's had in the season. But he's starting to get more involved, and I think they like him out of the slot. I think he's going to become that slot receiver for Jaden Daniels. And if this offense and Jaden Daniels keeps getting better, I think he's going to start doing some things. McMillan is interesting, but unless Godwin or Evans go down, like he had that nice week 1 when they played the Commanders and everybody got to feast, right? The whole team got to feast. But what has he done since? You know what I mean? What has he done since? Like when he's going to probably need Evans or Godwin to get hurt. So I think McCaffrey has the clearest path right now. I'm going McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean, I think potentially who has the most upside, it's McMillan, but that's only if there's an injury there. Best path to relevance is McCaffrey. Agree. So McCaffrey number one, McMillan 2, maybe Polk 3, and the rest doesn't matter. Anthony Romsberg, full PPR, Rodgers or Stroud. Okay, you got to go Stroud, right?
Got to go Stroud.
St. Brown, Godwin, Ayuk, Brian Thomas, Kirk, Monty, Henry, Zeke. 3 receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex.
All right, well, running backs are easy as Monty Henry. Don't start. You can drop Zeke. 3 wide receivers, St. Brown, Godwin, Ayuk, and I'm going to flex Kirk. I like Kirk this week. I think he has another nice game. And then, Stroud over Rodgers.
And then Dallas or the Raiders?
Raiders. Max Crosby he's hurt right now. If Max Crosby is out, that's a big blow to that defense. Just go Dallas against Danny Boy.
Yeah, at least it's a Thursday night game. Maybe less points. Maybe Daniel Jones remembers who he is. So yeah. Money Mitch, he's asked us a couple times. I know we did this one, but just to reiterate, just in case you didn't hear it, Burrow for Lamar. That was that question from before. He got the Burrow Chase stack. We're saying just keep Burrow. You're fine.
Yeah, keep Burrow.
Frank Kitugwa. Evaluate this trade. Barkley for Lamb and B-Rob.
That's a win. I mean, again, because we were talking, top 3 picks right now, probably Barkley, Jefferson, probably CD would be number 3. And then you're also getting B-Rob thrown in. That's a win.
Barkley, Lamb, pretty comparable. So there you go. The second possible trade, Dallas Goedert and Swift for Deontay Johnson.
That's also a huge win. Sell high on Dallas Goedert right now before A.J. Brown and Von Smith come back. It's a huge win. 2 huge wins for you. Well done.
Take Deontay Johnson. Very good. Adam, upside of Pickens, floor of Wilson. Is there a floor? I mean, not a high floor.
Yeah. I'd probably just go Pickens, honestly. At this point, we got to be scared of Surtain. We've seen it now every week. Let's go Pickens. Go Pickens.
This week, go Pickens. All right, Moss or Chuba?
Chuba.
Yes, definitely. Chuba, should I drop A-Rod or Streamer?
Depends. Depends who you're picking up. I mean, if you can get Caleb or Andy Dalton or somebody like that, yes. If you're going to drop him for Daniel Jones, I'd probably still go Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it's a 10-teamer. There's got to be someone decent out there. So yes,
Right.
you can do that. Tyler C. back. All right. Thank you, Tyler, for the super chat. 10-team, 0.7 PPR. All right.
That's interesting. Okay.
Lamar Love, Sun God, Evans, Flowers, Ridley, Shaheed, Cook, Connor, Pacheco, Ferg. Got Bucky and Adunze off waivers. Nice. That's a huge win. So now wondering to flip Love because you got Lamar. What could you realistically trade Love for? And would you do Amon-Ra St. Brown for CD? 1-for-1.
I think that just feels like whatever. Sure. Do it. Don't do it. Yeah, I don't really have a strong opinion about that one. If you like CD more than Sun God, go for it. As far as Love, I mean, if they really need a QB, maybe Pickens, maybe Jameson Williams, maybe like there's probably a lot of people out there that think they're being sneaky, selling high on Deontay Johnson. Maybe JSN.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe JSN, maybe Pittman. If you believe it, that he can bounce back. If you're looking for running backs, like you're probably looking at like maybe Singletary, maybe Najee, maybe Pollard or Brian Robinson, maybe.
I will say it's a 10-teamer. If you're upgrading at receiver anyways, which you're going to get, I guess, CeeDee Lamb now instead of Sun God and Evans and Flowers, you got really good top three receivers. If it takes packaging Love with Shaheed, we can still kind of sell high on him, get maybe even better running back receiver. I think I'm fine with that too. All right. Rusty Shackelford. Time to drop Pacheco, assuming you don't have an hour spot.
No. Possibly done for a season. Did I miss something?
Well, possible. It is possible. I mean, Andy Reid was like, oh, who knows, this season, next season, 2 years from now, we'll see. I don't think it's time to drop Pacheco. Still stash.
Yeah, did we get an update like today where
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm still holding Pacheco. Like, if he comes back at any point this season, you're gonna wish you had Pacheco.
Yeah. You're gonna wish you had a DVD player still. I don't know if people use those because Shrek 2 is still on DVD. PPR need to flex Waddle, Spears, Sharps, Dotson, or Downs.
I think it's gonna be Charbonnet if Walker is out. I mean, he's still. I know it's a tough matchup, but he's still like going to get all the touches. He'll catch passes. He could score. I'm actually debating Downs here. There's definitely some encouraging signs for Downs in week 1. And even though the Steelers, it's a tough matchup, it's not a tough matchup for him out of the slot. It's actually a very good matchup for him out of the slot. I might go Downs if Walker plays.
Yeah, I'd say right now put Sharp in there. If not, I can't put Dotson in there. He's just not getting involved. Spears, whatever. So it's either Waddle or Downs. Waddle, just open prey. Something happens that's good. Downs probably gets you at least some sort of a floor. Cali Kid. Cam or Pierce? No, Dameon Pierce did come back to practice today, I think.
No, he didn't.
Didn't he? I thought that was something. No?
Him and Mixon both missed practice against him. At least that's what I thought.
I thought I saw something about Dameon Pierce. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought he didn't.
I remember seeing it, and I know I did not specifically go out of my way to search up Dameon Pierce, unlike Boomer. Didn't go looking for Dameon Pierce news.
Okay, he did not practice today, but then there was a report that he's expected to return this week, per league sources.
All right.
But he didn't practice today.
Let's just go. Oh, I'll go
Yeah,
with
let's
Cam
just
or
go.
Steele, though, is the question, I guess.
I think I still go Cam because it is a really tough spot for Steele this week. I mean, sure, in that Chiefs offense, he could always score, but so could Cam Akers in that Texans offense. And Jaguars' run defense right now really bad. I'll go Cam.
I go Cam too. Jedi Koff says his league mate keeps sending him unexciting offers for CD Lamb.
Here's the thing. Like, okay, so you want to counter, but because you're saying here's his team. I've learned over the years, if somebody sends you a bad offer, it's almost not worth replying because, like, when you reply, so you do something comparable, like say, okay, I want Gibbs for CeeDee Lamb. They're going, no way, no way. You know what I mean? So it's like, what's even the point? Just say no. Just say no thanks and move on. I mean, you could try if you want, but chances are they're going to be like, oh, you're crazy.
If they're trying to lowball you, then chances are that's all they're trying to do. They don't want to make a fair deal. They're just trying to get something, which is ridiculous. Like, it's not even like, well, Tyreek Hill, because he hasn't done. It's CeeDee Lamb. Like, why would you even think that you would get him for nothing? So no, you don't even have to respond, honestly. Abej or Abe J, half PPR. I need 2 flex. Who do I pick? Yosevich, Williams, Thomas, Lazard, Judy, Shakir.
All right. Shakir is probably the one I feel the best about. I guess Lazard. I don't know. Maybe I still probably go Brian Thomas here. How's Brian Thomas though?
I think it's one of those, Thomas or Lazard. Hope for a big play from Thomas. Hope for a touchdown from Lazard.
Yeah, Thomas not bad against that Texans secondary. I think I go Shakir and Thomas.
Yeah. And then time to drop Williams. You can drop Williams, yeah. Although you might want to drop Dowdle first. Yeah, but either way. Peter Tin asking, did I waste my number 1 waiver claim getting Chuba Hubbard?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if I would have used the number 1 on him, but I don't think you wasted it. I think he'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, depends on your team. Depends if you're going to use him. I hope you're going to start him this week if you did that. But no. Austin J. RB1 Mason, do I start Walker over Pollard, assuming he plays?
Probably, but man, I could see this. I could definitely see this one going either way. It's such a good spot for Pollard and such a bad spot for Walker. But I just feel like if Walker plays, I'd probably play him. I think the hope here, Austin, honestly, is that Walker just doesn't play, and then you just can play Pollard. Not stressed about it.
Yeah, kind of. So I'd probably need to play Walker, but then he's saying if so, Pollard or Deontay.
Yeah, definitely Deontay. Is it PPR? Actually, if it's PPR, definitely Deontay.
This doesn't say. I would go Deontay too.
Yeah.
Tyler Rector got this offer. Jettis. This is a big one. All right. Jettis, HN, Flowers, and Monty for CD, Henry, Neighbors, and then somehow Addison or Mike Evans. Like it's the same.
I value Addison and Evans the same. Okay. Again, this is like, I will give you my team. I'll take your team. What do you think? All right. Jefferson CD comparable. I prefer HN to Henry still. I prefer Neighbors to Flowers. I prefer Evans to Monty. Okay, so that's 2 for 2, 2 and 2.
Evans.
Actually, no. If you get Evans, if the CD side gets Evans, give me the CD side. I mean, CD, Henry, Neighbors, and Evans, you're just getting 4 studs. You're getting just 4 studs. Yeah, if the CD side, if he'll actually give you Evans instead of Addison, take it. If it's Addison, no.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I like Addison or Mike Evans. If you're getting that side and it's Evans instead of Addison, yes, take it. It's quite a deal. Okay. Big welcome back to the Libertarian Sasquatch.
What's up?
Still my favorite. Is Pittman droppable if you have these receivers?
No, I don't even need to look at your receivers. Pittman is not droppable. I get it if you just want to keep him on your bench, but this is still a good wide receiver, a good player. Like, what happens if this week or even next week, Anthony Richardson figures it out and Pittman has like 8 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown, and then you just gifted somebody Michael Pittman for no reason? No, you can't drop it. You can try to trade him if you want. If you want to trade him, go ahead. You're selling low, but at least get something back. Don't just drop him.
Only if it's like Mary Joe's from earlier. It's an 8-team league, and someone dropped Mike Evans. Like,
right?
Okay, I'll pick up Mike Evans for him. But no, you can bench him behind all these receivers. Yes, put him behind these guys, but no, don't drop him yet. Jay Steele, pick 3. Collins, Rice, Harrison, Neighbors.
Collins a must. Rice. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, okay. I would say that this week, again, Arizona gets the Commanders. You have to fire up Marv, don't you?
Yeah, but how do you bench these guys? But I'll say this. Okay, so Jay Steele, looking at your second question, would you trade Neighbors and White for Hall? Yeah. Just make that trade, and then you don't have to worry about it. Just start Collins, Rice, and Harrison, and then you'll have Hall, Bijan, and Mason. I think I would just trade Neighbors and White for Brees, and then just start Collins, Rice, and Harrison.
There you go. This solves your dilemma. I would do that too. All right. Jason Quinones, welcome back. Start 2 in PPR. Got St. Brown, lost Cup, Addison, Keenan, Dell, D-Rob, QJ, Gabe, Dotson, and Mingo. No need to feel nervous. Start 2.
I think I'm going, if Allen plays, I'm going Allen and Dell. If Allen doesn't play, I'm going Dell and I guess Addison. It looks like Addison will play. I mean, I'm not doing Dotson. I'm not doing Gabe. Quentin Johnson against the Chiefs with maybe Tyler Heineke. No thanks. Mingo, I mean, I'm not ready to put Mingo in any fantasy lineups. Dell and Keenan if he plays. If Keenan doesn't play, Dell and Addison.
Yeah, I think it's Keenan and Dell for me. I'm not going to go QJ this week. D-Rob been burned. Gabe, no. Dell, yeah, so I go Dell and Allen. You can consider Addison, but Francisco Valencia, standard, Burrow, Moss, Monty, B-Rob, CD, Olave, Kelsey. On the bench is Higgins. Bucky, Steele, Shakir, McLaurin, Worthy, Pacheco. How can we improve this team?
Get rid of Kelsey.
Yeah. Upgrade at running back.
Yeah, especially in standard scoring. I'd like to upgrade at running back. I mean, obviously it hurts not having Pacheco. But if you could trade like, I mean, you got CD and Olave. It's non-PPR. You got Terry. If I could trade Higgins and Moss, Terry and Moss, whichever one, and get a better running back than Moss. Like, I really don't know.
I'm going to keep saying until he comes back. Maybe the buy low window and Kenneth Walker's still open because he's been hurt.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker. I mean, if you're packaging Higgins and Moss or Terry and Moss, you should definitely, I think, be able to get a Kenneth Walker, maybe a Monty, maybe an Aaron Jones, maybe an Etienne, guys like that. Maybe Mixon if you're okay waiting for him to come back. You want to wait for him to come back because you do have. Oh, you You have Monty. Never mind. You have Monty and B-Rob.
Oh yeah, got Monty. All right, there's some ideas. Let's just go and see what you can do. But yeah, standard, especially you lost Pacheco, you want to solidify that RB room. Keith Vines. All right, start. I like it. The Panthers stack. Andy Dalton, Deontay Johnson, London, Barkley, Dobbins, the Muth, B-Rob, Minnesota, maybe?
Yeah.
Likely Ayuk on the bench. A lot of people benching Ayuk. Ridley, Leggett, Hubbard. Man, we are loaded with Carolina Panthers here. Okay.
Doesn't say the scoring here. I would have a hard time benching Ayuk for Brian Robinson, but I mean, I guess I get it. No Eckler. He is in a good spot this week. But man, this could be the week where Ayuk goes off and everybody's like, "Oh, what have I done?" But I think I'm okay. I mean, I'm okay with Brian Robinson. It is a good matchup. So, and no Eckler means he probably will catch more passes. We don't think Jeremy McNichols is going to take the Eckler role, do we?
Not too worried about Jerry McNichols taking any role, so no.
Although he did it. Did you see his block on that linebacker?
No, I didn't.
Oh, on that game-winning touchdown throw? Oh my! And what's crazy about it is he's like they had to put him out there because Eckler's out, and he's like looking at Jaden Daniels like he doesn't even know the play. He's like, "What am I supposed to do?" And then Jaden Daniels snaps it. He sees this linebacker coming and just trucks him. Just trucks this linebacker. So, but that is a great thing.
If you're in a point per block league, that helps.
Yes.
Well, okay. I think the only dilemma for me here is Ayuk versus like London. I think I probably would want to go Ayuk still.
I actually really like London this week.
Well, maybe I just put B-Rob instead of Dobbins at running back, and then you could flex Ayuk.
Yeah.
If it's PPR. If it's full PPR.
If it's PPR, actually, that's a good point. That's probably what I would do.
All right. We're still catching up to the super chats, so hang tight, guys. We're getting there slowly but surely. Let's help Delilah, though, because she's asking, please help. Cannot decide who to start between Jacobs, Etienne, Stevenson, and Ford.
I'm still going Jacobs and Etienne. Like, I don't feel like Ford definitely not, but I don't feel like Stevenson is any less risky than Etienne. And I still prefer Etienne here. So Jacobs and Etienne.
Jacobs is the RB1 for me here. I'm nervous about Etienne, so I think it's either Etienne or Stevenson. Ford, no. I don't know. What is Etienne? I'm worried he gets scripted out. I'm worried the Jaguars are just horrible because they look horrible. So then again, Ramondre could get scripted out too.
Yes. And the Patriots could be horrible too.
Yeah. All right. We'll make it easy. Go Jacobs, Etienne. All right. We have Upendra Sairam Kilaru. All right.
Pretty good.
Welcome. Darnold, Johnson, Deontay, Flowers, Cook, B-Rob, Ferguson, Mason, Tyreek, Richardson, Shakir, Kittle, Cup, Pacheco. It's standard 10-team lineup suggestions.
All right. So in standard, yeah, you want James Cook, you want Brian Robinson, you want Jordan Mason. Yeah, I'm going Darnold over A-Rich, Johnson, Flowers. I will say Ferguson's fine, but again, if Kittle plays, I'm playing him over Ferguson. We'll see. I'm assuming Tyreek Hill's on your bench, which sadly he probably has to be on your bench. Yeah, I think you're good. Crazy we're benching Tyreek.
I know. In this format, yeah, I think Well, you're good. You at least have 3 solid running backs: Cook, Mason, Robinson. If you're flexing, don't know how many you start, but that's probably what you're doing. So I think there's not much you can do. You don't really have a lot on your bench. So, all right, let's go to Chris Pastena. Second flex: Mooney, Wandale, or Pitts.
Mooney, definitely Mooney. He's getting involved. I am not flexing Pitts, and I'm not. Wandale is like, yeah, okay, whatever, he'll do something. But Mooney's got the upside here. Let's go, Mooney.
Right. Pitts is really hard enough just to start at tight end, and that's a tight end, right? Based on this year. So no, Mooney. Look, I'm encouraged by Mooney. Last couple of weeks, he's been involved, getting some chunk yardage, so that's good. Rough times, I know. Picked up McLaurin because just because. All right, trying to package him and Moss for Lamb. Look, go for it. Man,
go for it.
You might not get Lamb. If you can get AJ Brown, go for it as well.
Yeah, I don't know if it's enough for those guys, but go for it.
He's asking, is that too much?
No, definitely not. Go for it.
No. And then he would have Jefferson, Lamb or AJ, if it goes through, Cup, Diggs. Yeah. It's not too much. Do this.
Do it.
Rodney Woods.
What's up, Rodney?
Big win last week. All right. Need a little help. All right, let's do it again. Quarterback, tight end, 2 receiver, 2 flex. Dalton or Goff?
Give me Dalton. What's Goff's upside been this year? Just give me Dalton.
Yep. Going Dalton here. At tight end, Freiermuth, Njoku, or Gesicki.
Njoku if he plays, otherwise Freiermuth.
Yep. You can drop Gesicki here.
Ooh, our first 2-2 question.
2-2. All right. I like it. 2-2 Dobbs, Tolbert, Bateman. Okay. Here are the real receivers. Higgins, DJ Moore, Diggs, Odunze, Montgomery. Okay, I guess that's just a flex.
I have questions why you listed. I have a question like why did you list them in this order? But okay, we need 2 wide receivers and 2 flex. I'm going Higgins and DJ Moore. I think you have to flex Monty. You got to flex Monty. Are we going all in on the Bears? Are we flexing Odunze over Diggs? I know you like Diggs this week. Actually, do we diversify a little bit here and do Diggs over Odunze?
I'm worried because I like DJ Moore and Odunze, but again, it's like, are we putting them both in? And I do like Diggs, and I want to sit Higgins, but I know you probably should start Higgins. So let's go Higgins, Moore, Diggs, and Monty. That's fine. You like Odunze. All right. But you got DJ Moore. Capanova. Traded Cooper and Chubb for Walker.
Fair.
Sorry, Cooper for Walker.
Yeah, fair.
That's fine. Fields, Darnold. Probably go Darnold this week.
Yeah, I'm still going Darnold over Fields.
Should I make... Okay, the question is, should I make another trade? I mean, you have 2 Hawkinsons. That's too much.
Yeah, you can trade one of your Hawkinsons. You can always make another trade, but I don't really see anything here.
No, your bench really, you don't have a lot of trade value on the bench. You got Lamb, Marv, okay. Higgins is your 3rd receiver. I think that's fine. Cook.
I see why you traded for Walker because your other running backs, your running backs were Dowdle, Chubb, and Bucky and Brooks. You hit 2 injured guys and 2 backups, I guess, for now.
Yeah, it was a good trade. Even better now that I've received the team. No, I think you're good with what you got. This is Kubi 4Z. Kubi, is that Kub? What? Am I saying that right? Kubi 4Z?
Sure.
Got a logo, C4Z. We'll just call you C4Z.
All right.
Traded London for Brooks and McLaurin. Like it?
I'd probably still prefer London. It's gonna depend on if McLaurin really does get unlocked here and if Brooks comes back and does anything. It's not terrible. It's not an L or anything.
It could pay off, right? If Brooks went, it could pay off. So I don't hate it. I'm taking a risk here. Who to flex? Najee, Mooney, Jennings.
I guess you gotta go Jennings. I think. I mean, Najee probably is your safer bet, and he's got a decent ceiling this week, but I don't know. Probably going with Jennings.
Yeah, here I can put Mooney last. I like Najee, but probably should go Jennings. I think Jennings is fine, assuming it's PPR. All right, and then we have Shaboy Poppy. Does that look right?
Yes.
Trade Hill, Stevenson, and Rashad for Adams and Monty.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Keep Hill. It might be rough for the next few weeks, but it will get better. Keep Hill.
No, it's this is not a win. So if you're trading away the Hillside, don't do it. Wayne, my JK for Evans.
Yeah, give me Evans. Definitely give me Evans. Yes.
How quickly people have gone to selling low on Evans and dropping Evans even. Just funny. Remember after week 1, he was like the number 1 receiver.
Yep.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Let's go to Garrison. Here's the question: Ayuk or Jennings?
Ayuk. I'm still going Ayuk over Jennings. He's still the wide receiver 1 here, despite what the fantasy points tell us.
Let's go on Ayuk. Roman Velasquez, 10-man PPR, traded McLaurin and Javonte for Godwin.
Yeah, this one I'm okay with. This is like Terry for Godwin. I mean, Godwin's already great. Just give me the guy who's already great. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, not worried about Godwin injury.
Yeah, Javonte is droppable. We've already said that. So McLaurin and Godwin, you got to go Godwin. Interesting. A lot of people now using McLaurin as like a sell high, which see how that works. Pablo, are you flexing McLaurin or Singletary or JK?
This is close between Singletary and McLaurin. I do really like Singletary this week. He could absolutely smash against that Cowboys sieve of a run defense. It's a good, not a phenomenal spot for Terry, but it's a good spot for him. Doesn't say if it's PPR or not. I don't know. I might just go Singletary either way. I think he just has a high enough ceiling and floor this week. I just go Singletary.
It's not a great spot for Dobbins. I'm going to put him below Singletary based on matchup for sure. Terry, I think, does have upside, but also risk. We can't just look at last week and pretend the first 2 weeks didn't happen. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, well, now he's going to be great from every week from here on out. So, yeah, I think Singletary makes sense. Josh Campbell, weak at receiver, got Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith, Pittman, Waddle, and Odunze. I mean, you really should be strong at receivers, just hurt, struggle, quarterback hurt. So trade Flowers, Brian Thomas, and Laporta for Dalton Kincaid and Devontae Adams. So this makes it look like you would be getting the Flowers and Laporta side.
Yeah, I think I take it because I don't. It wouldn't surprise me if Flowers is better than Adams this year, honestly. Still, you can't be completely out on Laporta yet. And it's not like Dalton Kincaid has been smashing. And you get Brian Thomas just thrown in. I think I take it.
Yeah, I think you're getting more. Brian Thomas isn't a huge factor here, but Laporta, Kincaid, let's just assume they'll be pretty equivalent rest of the season. Flowers, Devontae, I think I feel better about Flowers at this point. You get Thomas kind of for nothing. So if you're getting that side, do it. Spearsy, always too kind. Thank you, Spearsy. Just going to give you a shout out.
Thank you.
Being here. All right. Sorry, I keep going. Juan Pablo Sagas. Who should I start between JB Hunt? JB? Who's JB? Can't be Jonathan
I don't
Brooks.
know, because it's like there's Cooper, who's a wide receiver, but then there's Walker and Mixon, who are running backs. The Jonathan Brooks and Kareem Hunt.
Can't be Jonathan Brooks is not going to play.
I mean, Mixon probably isn't going to play, and he's on the list.
Walker might not play either. I guess let's just say
I
Cooper.
mean, I don't know who those guys are, but I'm probably just going Cooper. Probably just going Cooper here. I feel good about it.
Yeah, if you're looking for one of those players right now with what we know, Juan Pablo, we're going to go Cooper. And then for defense, Packers or Texans?
Give me the Texans at home against Trevor Lawrence.
Yes. Definitely going to be the Texans here. All right. Hopefully that helped. Henry Wynn has a super chat. Let's see if Henry has a question that's typed out here. It's funny, Juan Pablo earlier, he typed out a question in a different way and it still says JB Hunt. Like I'm not.
I don't know who JB Hunt is, but I probably just like Cooper the most out of whoever those guys are.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Let me keep going here. All right, Henry, look for if you have a question. I'll see if we can find it here. Let's go to Piff, 12-man PPR, CD, Devin.
Singletary.
Okay, this is
Madison.
a trade question. All right, CD, Devin, Singletary, Madison for Gibbs and Garrett.
I still got to take Gibbs and Garrett Wilson because, again, Gibbs and CD pretty comparable for me as far as like running back, wide receiver goes. But I'm still taking Garrett Wilson over Devin Singletary and Alexander Madison. So give me the Gibbs Garrett Wilson side.
Right. I mean, the CD Lamb, obviously the CD, it's going to be the top player here, but the other two are not big factors. Garrett Wilson, look, I don't really want to start Garrett Wilson this week, and he might still have another couple weeks of just being okay, but we're not giving up on him, right? He's still
not giving up on Garrett Wilson. No.
All right. Like we've given up on Mike Evans after 2 bad weeks. Steve Narciso. You're welcome. All right. 12-team PPR, Goff, Evans, Hill, Stevenson, Steele, Ertz, Flex, Bucky, Madison, Hopkins, or Shaheed. Got to pick one of those guys.
Just give me. I mean, I think I'm just going to gamble on Shaheed here. Yes, Bucky will give you some points. Yes, Madison will probably give you some points. D-Hop will probably give you some points. But, I'm not banking on another big D-Hop game. Probably just gamble on Shaheed.
Yeah, D-Hop kind of seemed random, didn't it?
Yes.
I will say this. As you know, Dolphins defense, not too good. Dolphins offense, not too good. D-Hop. Do I remember? Look, I do remember, and maybe because you were like, why would they put, and everybody's like, why would they put the Titans and Dolphins on primetime, right? But you remember last year's Titans-Dolphins game, that was the one where the Dolphins were up by 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and Will Levis made this incredible comeback, and everyone's like, oh, this is it. This is Will Levis coming out party. And it was like this amazing last-minute comeback. And then, then they just went back to what they were. I swear, and I have to look it up, I swear Hopkins went off in that game. I think he was one of the ones because they didn't have Ridley, of course. But anyways, all that said, I would still go Shaheed over Hopkins. How would you make this team better? I mean, if Carson Steele is your RB2 and Bucky's your RB3, what can we do here?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot you can really do here.
Hope Shaheed has a big game because you started him and then try to trade him for an RB.
Yeah, probably last week was a good time to trade Shaheed.
Yeah,
hopefully he has a big game again this week. Maybe you can move on. You can trade Rashid for a running back or something.
Or if D-Hop does have a big game, maybe you can trade him too.
That's true.
It could happen. Robert Williams, flex James Conner or Deontay Johnson? That's a tough one. It is PPR.
That is a tough one because I do expect a big Connor bounce back, but it's full PPR. I think I got to go with Deontay.
Yeah, I feel like it should be a big Connor game. I know it's so hard to sit Deontay. So PPR, go Deontay. He's back. The Terminator. Yo.
Yes. Ferguson should not be on any waiver wire. I don't even care who your tight end is. Pick up Ferguson. You can't have too many good tight ends right
now. Yes, you got to pick up Ferguson. I just seen Keith's comment here. He's a Panthers fan. All right, got kicked out of the stadium this weekend.
What'd you do?
I was gonna say, but they won, so I guess you had a lot of fun. All right, and Leo Hilo saying he had a comment earlier. Leo, if you want to retype it because it was like way too far back. He's saying what to do with the roster on Draft Lane.
Yeah. So Leo. So our developer reached out to me and said you're going to ask this question on here, but I'm going to respond on Draft Lane just so people actually know that I actually really respond on Draft Lane. So he's trying to trade Ridley and Gesicki for Deontay Johnson, or Ridley for Higgins. I think I would definitely do Ridley and Gesicki for Deontay Johnson. I would do Ridley for Higgins, personally. I don't know if you would. But.
Yeah, I think I would. I think you could do either of those. I'm not out on Ridley, but it's going to be up and down. You know, it's funny because last year Ridley was this big roller coaster ride, but it was more like the first half was going up and then the second half it was tank. And he's been just every week, you don't know what to get. It's frustrating. Take a chance on Higgins staying healthy and being T. Higgins, good version, not bad version. Or the first one, I like Deontay Johnson a bunch.
Yeah, I would do either of those, honestly. Prefer Deontay, probably. And then he says, trade Mason and another wide receiver for a decent running back and a great wide receiver. I mean, sure.
Depends who. But yeah, if you get a great wide receiver, that sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good. So hopefully I helped you out.
There you go. That's it. You know, like after we get off here, we are going to be checking Draft Lane. We're still getting to the rest of the super chats, which we're getting toward the end. But again, once we're off, or again tomorrow during the day, anytime we're not on here, use the Draft Lane app. Ralphie, this is not gonna lie, it's not super helpful.
That's how I saw. This is actually how I saw Leo's, because I was scrolling to try to find Ralphie, and I'm like, Ralphie, maybe just type it in again, Ralphie, if you're hearing this.
Yeah,
I'll pay attention to the bottom here.
Yeah. All right. Brandon Sky, do you see this one? It's here. Brandon again. 0-3. Don't worry, you can come back. We've already discussed this. Okay, so this week, well, we did already rank those running backs. I think missed out on the Aaron Jones boom week. Go Aaron Jones this week for sure. Chase, Harrison, Gesicki, Walker, McLaurin, Pickens, BTJ. So he's asking, can he bounce back? Like, is this team still good enough?
Yeah. You got Jones and Jacobs and Etienne. You got Chase, Marvin Harrison, McLaurin. You got Walker coming back at some point. I mean, obviously, get rid of Gesicki. Grab a tight end.
Yeah.
And like, is there a better QB than Goff?
That's a good point. Goff has been just okay, possibly without Laporta this week against a tough pass defense. I know he's at home, but he was at home last time with all his weapons. Yeah, I think a better quarterback might help, or even if you stream, just go with somebody with more upside this week. Chase is back, so you definitely feel better about that. Harrison really should go berserk this week. He should. So that might be alone. Chase and Harrison could just turn it around for you. And Terry's back too. So yeah, you can come back. Don't give up. This is a perfect segue to the reminder. The fantasy football is pain.
Yes.
So he stepped away earlier. Okay, Evans for Kincaid and Worthy.
Give me Evans. Evans, definitely Evans.
So
keep
he's saying
Evans.
he has Evans. So no,
Keep
don't do
Evans.
this.
Keep Evans stream tight end.
Yeah, I think the thought here is I don't want to stream tight end. Look how great has Kincaid been. I know I would be fine with Kincaid as my tight end. I think he'll continue to be good. Maybe not great, but it's not enough. Not enough here. We got Paul Framo, 10 team. Puka, Nico, Rice, Godwin, Kirk, Odunze. That's pretty good. Kirk or Odunze.
Man, this is close. But I will say, if Keenan comes back, I think we have to be a little bit lower on Odunze. So as of right now, with Keenan looking like he's coming back, I might give the slight edge to Kirk.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I'm big on Odunze, but Keenan might spoil the fun. I still like Odunze, but Kirk isn't a decent matchup, so it's close here. We'll have to keep an eye and see what's going on here. But man, you got Nico, Rice, and Godwin. You're pretty stacked at receiver.
You're probably okay.
So you can, I guess, play it safer. What is up, Joe? Joe Castles. Start Darnold or Mayfield?
Well, your second question, drop Mayfield for Dalton. I would drop Mayfield for Dalton and start Dalton.
There you go. Mayfield definitely should be better this week. But, man, how do you not start Andy Dalton? kind of true. Victor Singh, do I trade Hubbard for Amari?
Yeah, I think just give me Amari. Just give me Amari Cooper.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, look, like Hubbard, definitely pick up Hubbard, but Jonathan Brooks is going to at some point not only be back, but cut into touches. So, yes, I'll take Amari Cooper. K. Johnson. Waddle for London.
Yeah, just give me London.
Tua is not going to retire. Let's just squash that.
I'm not worried about Tua retiring, but at the same time, I just feel like London. Look, 2 games in a row now. I feel good about London. He's got Kirk. Kirk is looking better and better every week. Why even take the risk of Waddle? Maybe Tua doesn't come back in 3 weeks. Maybe it's 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Just give me London.
Yeah, exactly. London, for what it's worth, still clearly the number 1 receiver on his team. You guys were close in the draft rankings, but we both, I think, barely had London ahead. At this point, I think you got to have London ahead. Falcons offense is getting better. The Dolphins offense, it's not. Josh Maestas, Olave for Wilson.
No, I would just keep Olave.
Yes. Daniel Lundquist. Question is below. Okay. Daniel's question is Mayfield, Gibbs, Mason, Lamb, Evans, McBride, Achane at the flex, Browns, and the best kicker in the world right now. My bench is Charbonnet, Dobbins, London, Olave. Oh, that's a nice bench. Man, your bench is better than most teams' starting lineups.
Yeah, Gibbs, Mason, definitely. Lamb, Evans.
I can get Williams. I think he's what? Which Williams? Richard, like Caleb Williams?
Yeah, I would play Caleb Williams over Mayfield. Yes. Man, you sadly might not have a tight end this week. We'll see. But yeah, I don't think. I mean, I could maybe consider Olave over Achane at the flex if you're worried about the Miami Dolphins offense, but I'm also fine with Achane.
Yeah, Gibbs, Mason, Lamb, Evans. Yeah, very, very funny. This is one of those rare bully tight end teams. You got 2 of the best tight ends who have both been very disappointing, and now this week might not have either. But anyways, look into maybe moving on. But man, I don't think you can bench any of those guys that are in your lineup except for Mayfield. Charbonnet, Dobbins, London. I don't know. If you have really good receivers, like Olave or somebody on your bench, at the flex, is Achane like an absolute must start still?
That's what I said. I said I could consider Olave over Achane if you're worried about the Dolphins offense. Most weeks Achane is a no doubter, but with the state of the Dolphins offense, I think I can consider Olave over. I don't think it's a must, but I can think about it.
The question is with presumably Tyler Huntley. Is that even good for Achane, or is it bad for everyone, or is it? I don't even know. I don't even know.
I don't know, yeah.
I guess just keep Achane in there. All right, Robert Williams, Deontay Wilson, Neighbors, Taylor Achane, Connor. 2 receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex. Who are you leaving out?
I'm leaving Garrett Wilson out. I'm playing those 3 running backs, and I'm playing Deontay and Neighbors. Let's just not risk Garrett Wilson against Pat Surtain.
Yeah. I mean, I was just deliberating over Achane, but I definitely know I'm worried about Wilson for a specific reason. So there you go. All right. And by the way, this is a good time to give a shout out to Sir Boomer, who not only has been here since the start, he's helping answer some questions for other people and keeping the peace here, making sure everyone knows that we do sometimes get backed up on questions. By sometimes, I mean all the time.
Appreciate it, Sir Boomer.
Definitely. All right. ASAP Cams, how do we feel about London for Reed and Waddle?
I mean, I don't hate it. I don't think it's bad. I think Reed will be fine with Jordan Love back. Waddle should get better when Tua gets back, but I'm feeling pretty good about London right now. I think he's going to have another nice game this week. I think it's okay. I don't know. I think I want to keep London, but I think I'm also okay if you want to take Reed and Waddle. I don't really have a strong opinion either way, to be honest.
I think especially now that Love is back, we're assuming not this week, next week, and we know Tua is coming back, I would take the Reed Waddle side, assuming you can and would start both of them. Jaden Reed, of course, might not do what he did in week 1 and might not be as good as last year, but definitely startable. And Waddle, I mean, you could be trading, let's say, I think London maybe high-end wide receiver 2, and you're going to get back, hopefully, Tua comes back really soon, a wide receiver 2 in Waddle, and a wide receiver 3, high wide receiver 3 in Reed. I think it's worth it. Hey, you're 3-0, so that's good. Let's see. Here, we didn't do Henry wins, right? I found Henry's question.
Yep. All right.
He's 0-3. Okay. Got Murray and Mahomes. Dobbins, Rashawn Johnson, Bucky Pollard. Might be why.
I see why you're
Harrison,
3.
Sun God, Wilson, Jason, Amari Cup, Terry, Laporta. Got an offer for Jacobs for Wilson.
Yeah, you have to take this. You can't be rolling out. I mean, you got Dobbins and Pollard, I guess, but I mean, you got Harrison, Sun God, JSN, Amari Cup, Terry. You don't need Garrett Wilson. I think you have to take this deal. You have to. For your team, you have to take this deal.
Yes. I definitely do this. I was looking and I was like, man, those running backs. But then I realized this must have been a 0 RB draft because you are deep at receiver. And of course, Cup being hurt, I mean, that's bad luck. Wilson hasn't caught on yet. Terry and Amari both had first 2 weeks of nothingness. Laporta is giving you a lot of nothingness. So you have a good team. You drafted well. You've had bad luck. Lucky you have Dobbins. Yes, take this trade. All right. Now, Hobbs is not here, but Calvin.
What's up?
Says that Waddle to hit the waiver wire.
Yes, drop Naylor. Yes. Why?
Is this maybe a good time to remind people, guys, after you do your waivers and pick up players and go back and circle around and look at who your league mates have dropped? Because Mike Evans, we've seen Jalen Waddle, we've seen guys that have no business being dropped. Go back and always check to see who is now available after waivers, because somebody always does something like this. All right, Juan Pablo, let's get back to him because he says he did mess it up. All right, so it was who should I start between A.J. Brown, Amari Cooper, Joe Mixon, Kenneth Walker. That's a little different.
AJ Brown, JB Hunt. Well, AJ Brown probably not going to play this week, but if he does play this week, you're starting AJ Brown. If not, Amari Cooper.
That is fun. I'm not sure, how did Hunt even get be part of this? AJ Brown probably not going to play. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it might just have to be Cooper anyways. But thank you, appreciate the very kind words. 3-0. Look. You're 3-0, and AJ Brown didn't play last week, and Kenneth Walker hasn't played for 2 weeks, and Joe Mixon hasn't played. You're in good shape.
Yes, very good.
Brandon with another one. Brandon Sky. Okay, so who do we replace Goff and Gesicki with? Quarterback, tight end.
Caleb, Andy Dalton. Those would be my top 2 choices. Maybe Brock Purdy or Geno Smith if they're out there.
Purdy could be out there. Darnold is doable.
Darnold's doable. Gesicki, almost anyone. Komet, Conklin. I would take Ertz over Gesicki. I would take Freiermuth over Gesicki. I'm in a league where the tight ends are terrible, and I'm actually considering Johnny Munt this week.
Sad times these are. Yes. I know. At tight ends, just pick your poison. And you're like, sometimes it gets to the point in the season, midway, you're like, okay, well, which team really gives up a lot to tight ends this year? And the answer right now is nobody, because no tight end has done anything. So it doesn't even matter. There is no streaming edge here. Look, I'm just going to say Brock Wright is not your worst option.
True.
Not your worst.
It's reported is out, yep.
And if McBride is out, there's Elijah Higgins. Just saying, gets the Commanders. He
scored in week 1 or week 2.
Yeah. Daniel Hart, week at RB, trade Rice for Gibbs.
Yeah, I'm fine with this if you're weak at running back for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, so I think that's fair. I think that's pretty good. John M. How do we feel about Tyreek this week? Not great.
I mean, you can't feel good, but at the same time, if your options are terrible, if you're Tyreek Hill or, DeMarcus Robinson or Tyreek Hill or, I don't know, insert other disappointing Gabe Davis or something, then I'm still playing Tyreek Hill, but you can't feel good. Let's hope. Snoop Huntley can hit one deep ball to Tyreek Hill this week.
He's like a flex, right? A risky flex.
Yep.
John starts it. Okay, Burrow, Kamara, White, AJB, Olave, Ferguson, Kirk, bench. Am I cooked or have a chance? I mean, you have a chance, but AJ Brown almost surely not going to play, I would assume.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to sit AJ Brown, and then again, I'm probably putting I was going to say Odunze, but then I see Brian Robinson sitting there.
Yeah, I'm thinking
actually, you know what I'm getting?
White for Robinson.
You know what I'm doing? Brian Robinson over Rashad White and Odunze in over AJ Brown.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, you got it. Of course you have a chance. Now, if Kamara doesn't play because he's hurt, then you might be cooked, but we'll see. Just preparing you. 95. What is up? Somebody drop Tank Dell. Would you pick him up for? If that's Javonte Williams, yes.
Yeah, if it's Javonte, if it's Jameson Williams, that's closer. I'd wait. But if it's Jameson Williams, yes. Although then he says my wide receivers are, but again he's talking about Tank Dell. Okay, so I'm still not sure if that's Javonte or Jameson. If it's Javonte, definitely pick up Tank Dell. If it's Jameson,
maybe for Brian Thomas, you could pick up Tank Dell if that's Jameson. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then Danielle. Who do you bench? Jettis? No. Amon-Ra? No. Rasheed? No. DK? No.
No. Oh, jeez. How do you bench one of these guys? I will say, I mean, Amon-Ra doesn't have a great matchup this week, but I'm just never benching him. I know Rashee Rice has been incredible, but he does have a tough matchup this week against the Chargers, although Derwin James is suspended. That may help. But he's also, like, really outproducing expectation by a significant margin. Maybe this is the week Rashee Rice kind of comes back down to earth a little. So I think out of these three guys, he's the one I'm benching. But only because this is the list. Like, don't come back. Like, if Rashee Rice's 30-point game, don't come back and say, you told me to bench Rashee Rice. It's like, yeah, look at your other options.
Yeah, look, so the wide receiver, the start sit for wide receivers out. We had 10 receivers that are, you have them, you have to start them. You just listed 4 of them. You have to start all of these guys. Okay, so take your pick. I am not sitting Jettis. I think it's Rice for me. Yeah. Okay, last couple, because we did catch up to the super chats until now. Brock Baker, Wilson or Terry?
Let's go Terry this week. Just avoid Surtain. Just go Terry.
Gonna agree. Which actually Matthew Kircher asked similar. Wilson, McLaurin, or Higgins, who to bench?
Probably just benching Wilson.
Tough, but yeah. Ashley Gomez, welcome back, Ashley. Pick 2. This is half. Shakir, JMO, Steele, Kirk. Pick 2.
I think I'm going Kirk and Jameson. Steele is okay in half PPR. I mean, Kirk and Shakir, not Jameson. I want to say Jameson, but it's a terrible spot for Jameson this week. I mean, he could hit on that home run, but man, he could completely bust. Kirk's in a good spot. Shakir's fine. Steele's interesting in half PPR, but you really need a touchdown. I think I'm going Kirk and Shakir.
Yeah, I think with these other options, it's a flex. You don't need to put Steele in there. And I think normally it might be JMO, but I agree. My first thought was Shakir's solid, and let's take a chance on Kirk. Matchup is better. Next week, it might change. In fact, I know it's going to change next week. Shakir and Kirk. Great. Nasty FN has been waiting patiently. CMC, Flowers, and Darnold for Bijan and Odunze.
Yeah, just give me Bijan and Odunze. I can completely ignore Darnold here unless it's super flex, then it changes things. But assuming it's 1 QB, I can ignore Darnold here. Why risk it with CMC when you can just get Bijan? And look, yeah, I prefer Flowers to Odunze, but Odunze is fine. Give me Bijan and Odunze for sure.
Yeah, because again, we really don't know about CMC. This is going to be the most aggravating thing until it's settled one way or another, isn't it?
Yep.
You can buy low on him. This doesn't feel like a buy low situation. Bijan, just take the guy who you know is producing. So, yeah. I think some people are maybe a little concerned about Bijan because his numbers weren't great. He hasn't really been great yet, you know? He's still getting so much usage.
Yeah, he's one of the top running backs in terms of usage and expected fantasy points. It's gonna happen for Bijan, and it might even be this week.
Yeah. Okay. I think is that it? Are we possibly caught up?
We got one more from Giwa.
And then there's I think another one too. All right. Trade Saquon for Gibbs and elite receiver.
Yes.
Sure.
I mean, by elite receiver, I assume you mean like not, Jameson Williams or somebody like that. I assume you mean like Nico Collins, Rashee Rice, DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, guys like that. Yeah, definitely do it. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't know who elite receiver is, but I'll take elite receiver.
Like, do people just expect like look, we were high on Saquon, but like, do people just expect Saquon is going to score like 500 fantasy points this year?
Some people. I think some people will. All right. Yes, do this. Connor Trerotola traded B-Rob Tank Andrews for Reed Pollard Odunze.
Seems good because, I mean, okay. B-Rob Pollard, I prefer B-Rob, but Tank Jaden Reed, I probably just prefer Jaden Reed at this point, and I certainly prefer Odunze to Mark Andrews. So, no, I don't think you screwed up at all.
No, this is fine. And also somehow turned Komet into Kelsey and already have Bowers.
Yeah, I probably would have just. I mean, whatever. You got Bowers, so whatever. Fine, it's fine. You have Bowers. You're fine.
I actually like this because then you hopefully flip Kelsey from somebody who still believes in Kelsey, turn Kelsey into something, right?
Right. Just wait, because there's gonna be one game where Kelsey has like 5 catches and a touchdown, and everybody says he's back, right? Like it's gonna happen.
Yep.
At some point.
Yeah, I agree. All right, and then Chris KD is having lots of fun with his injured lineup. He listed all the players. Yeah, I get it. A pick 2, BTJ, Sutton, Shaheed, Watson, and then if Kittle is out, a tight end.
I think I still go Komet. Strange has a chance if Ingram's out, and Ertz will at least give you points, but I still like Komet. I like the upside of Komet in that offense. Oh, man. Watson and Sutton in such a. I want to say Sutton in such a tough spot this week. And do we really want Watson and Shaheed in the same lineup?
Just go for the all lotto ticket team. Sure, why not?
I mean, I guess if hope at least one of them hits.
I mean, Thomas is that same type of guy, basically, and then Sutton, it's like, what is the upside, really? I know he finally did something last week. I don't know if I'm buying into it. He's not scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, but now he's got Sauce Gardner and the Jets.
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
road.
It's just
maybe just go Watson and Shaheed, and hope at least one of them explodes.
Yeah. All right, last couple. We keep getting caught up and then keep falling behind because we keep getting super chats, but we're going to get out of here very soon. James Rogers, choose 2. Well, this one, I guess, is surprisingly easy this week.
Yeah, there's gonna be some weeks here where it's gonna be tough, but not this week. CeeDee Lamb and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Not Hill, I guess. Giwa clarification saying who can I get for Saquon?
Oh, I was gonna say okay. Yeah, you can get an elite wide receiver for Saquon for sure. Like you can get like a CeeDee Lamb, a Justin Jefferson, a Amon-Ra Chase for sure. You can get probably any running back right now because Saquon is the best running back. But you're not going to get an elite wide receiver and an elite running back, or an elite running back and an elite wide receiver. So I think your best bet, if like you're looking to trade Saquon, then you probably want to get CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra, Chase, somebody like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Any elite receiver you can get. Keep falling behind. Okay, Mary Jo needs lineup help. Let's do this real quick. How do you like this lineup?
Yeah, I'm not. Evans, Nico Harrison. I mean, in PPR, if you get Evans, I'm putting him in over Brian Robinson. But other than that, no changes.
Yeah, Evans must add, and this week must start. Okay, you're good. TMC Nico, not surprisingly, has Nico. Yes. Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Malik Neighbors, and can only start 3. I mean, I feel like you are obligated to start Nico.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, technically, Amon-Ra St. Brown has the worst matchup here, so maybe him. Maybe sit him. Wow. I don't know how you have to sit one of these guys.
He did have a bad week, this year already. It's either St. Brown or Neighbors, I guess. Take your pick. Brado Blends, non-PPR. I don't know if that matters. Okay, AR or Dalton?
Dalton, definitely Dalton. Don't drop Anthony Richardson for Dalton. Just put him on your bench and start Dalton.
Right. Okay. Till further notice. Soul Assassin, look at the comment. For some reason, can't send through the super chat. All right, Soul. Okay, I see your comment saying you can't send the super chat.
Yeah, I see that one too.
All right, let's see. It's got to be close, I imagine. Or you could retype it if it's way back. Don't know how far.
Yeah, if it's way back, it might be better just to retype it.
Yeah,
you don't have to super chat it. You can just regular type it.
Yeah, I'm going a while back. Don't see it. Okay. So yeah, just repost that question. We'll get to it. Let's do Dynasty 39. Trade Bowers or Ferg. Needs a receiver. Okay, so you're trading one of those tight ends to get a receiver.
Yeah.
Targeting Higgins, Dell, Shakir, Ferg for Shakir or Higgins fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely prefer Higgins to Shakir. Definitely. Right. If you can trade Ferguson for Higgins, definitely do that. Definitely do that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ever say anybody, especially a tight end, is like, don't trade him. But man, Bowers has already got to be the number one dynasty tight end. I would just say that. Trade Ferguson. Okay. Okay, well, we already answered Giwaz. Ralphie. Again, it's above. Okay.
All right.
Ralphie.
Do we have it this time?
Let's see. And we're still waiting for Soul Assassin. Ralphie. Or you could just retype it, Ralphie.
Yeah, you don't have to super chat. Say above a few messages. You can just type it. I didn't see it because I was looking to see if it popped up.
Yeah, I know. I'm seeing. Like, I know you're able to chat because I'm seeing the comments that say I can't super chat, but I don't know. Ralphie, if you could just retype what your question is in a regular comment, same thing as Soul Assassin. All right. Humade. Waddle or Worthy or Sutton or Hopkins. Need a wide receiver and a flex.
Go Worthy and Hopkins, I guess. Hope. Can't start. I can barely start Tyreek Hill. How am I going to start Waddle? And I can't start Sutton against Sauce and the Jets. Worthy and Hopkins and hope for the best.
Yeah, I guess so. Hope for the best. That's exactly it. I don't know. Okay, we're trying to hold out to answer those questions from the ones who did send the super chat. Some people are saying they're having issues with chatting. Not sure why.
I keep seeing this chat, but I don't see any other chat from you.
Right. Yeah, which is weird. Okay, guys, I would just say try a regular comment. And it's possible. I think some people say sometimes if it's too long, it doesn't go through or something. Yeah. Maybe try sending it in shorter messages. That might be the issue.
Yeah, break it up into 2 messages. Don't super chat.
Right. That could be. All right, so let's hang on for another minute or two. Let's do a couple of quickies. Regular. We've done all the super chats except for this one. Ronskov. Kyron Williams, Chase Ayuk, Bijan, Collins, Wilson. The blockbuster.
Big boy trade. Big boy trade. All right, I prefer Bijan to Kyron. I prefer Chase to Collins. Ayuk, Wilson, close.
Feels kind of even. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody win this trade?
Yeah, I don't know. This feels very even. Big boy trade. I mean, maybe I prefer getting Bijan and Collins to Kyron and Chase. So I'll say the Bijan Collins side. But man, this is very close.
I'm trying to think if there's really an advantage, an edge here anywhere. I don't think so. I mean, I guess it comes down to preference, really. Just which player you like better. I don't know. I don't see anybody here I don't like, and anybody I really like better. Mo has Godwin. Someone offered me Evans for Neighbors. Oh, okay, so you're saying you would have both Bucks receivers?
Yeah,
Evans
just keep
or Neighbors?
Neighbors. Yeah, just keep
take
Neighbors.
Yeah.
All right, Humberto, I see part of your question. So what's the rest of it?
Dak, Lamb, Adams, Achane, Jones, Kelsey. Okay. That's
Okay.
good, except for Kelsey.
Yes.
Let's do this. Alejandro Diaz.
All right.
Valid to trade Achane and Devontae Smith for Saquon.
I think that's too much. I think that's too much for Saquon. Too much for Saquon.
Yeah, I think so. J Tobar 88 is Henry for Bijan or reach.
I mean, I prefer Bijan. If someone's willing to give me Bijan for Henry right now, I'm taking Bijan.
Yeah, I still go Bijan. I don't think it's a reach because Henry's been better than Bijan, but I think you still got to prefer Bijan in PPR at least. Okay, any updates here? I don't think so.
No, still just that one.
How about let's do Brian Guadarrama. Choose 3. Olave, London, Smith, JK.
Well, if Smith plays, it's going to be the first 3, but I don't think Smith is going to play, so probably going to have to be Dobbins.
Yeah, exactly. If you're hoping for Devontae Smith, probably not.
All right, here it is. He needs a flex. DJ Moore, Jennings, or Dell. Definitely going DJ Moore.
Yeah, I love DJ Moore this week. Even if Keenan Allen does come back, I think I got to put DJ Moore against this Rams offense. Watch the Boom video. Going to come out very soon. You'll see about that. All right, so Soul Assassin and
Ralphie.
If you guys can get your chat in very, very soon, we'll answer it. If not, we're probably going to sign off here in a minute.
We got this super chat from Chris. KD.
Harrison and Moss for Neighbors and Connor.
Yeah, I think you got to take Neighbors and Connor just for that upgrade at running back. You got to take Neighbors and Connor.
Neighbors and Connor side. So that's the side you're getting. That's what you're going to go with. Nate. Let's do Nate Sofla. Richardson, Darnold, or Fields?
I think I just go Darnold. He's been good. He's got Kevin O'Connell. He's got Justin Jefferson.
Agree. Just got to bench Richardson until he gets better. Yo, Miles Dial is back. What's up? Okay. Off of waivers, who's a better stash?
Rest of the season, probably Mike Williams. I mean, Josievich keeps scoring touchdowns, but that's literally like all he's doing. Mingo, yeah, I'm not doing Mingo. Probably Mike Williams.
I agree. I'm not really all in on Mike Williams or anything, but he will eventually get more involved. There's not a whole lot of competition there behind Garrett Wilson for targets. So, yeah, I'm going to go Mike Williams. Yoshi's taking a hit.
Leo Hilo has a kind of addendum, I guess, to what he asked earlier.
Could I improve for Mason Ridley for London Stevenson or Mason Ridley for B-Rob DJ Moore? Mason and Ridley at least feel comparable.
Yeah.
I think the question is, how do you value Mason? Are you still just hanging on in case CMC's done?
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, if I can trade him and get something, but I'm just wondering if, like, can you do London B-Rob?
Maybe separate teams. Who knows? I don't think any of these are unfair. I think they're all reasonable. I'm trying to think if anyone's like a significant upgrade. I guess if I had to do one of these, I don't know. They're pretty close. Like maybe the B-Rob one.
Yeah, maybe the B-Rob one.
All right. And I think
so Ralphie, I see this, Ralphie.
Yeah, I see it too.
Get the question in there, Ralphie.
What about Zeblas? Trade CMC.
Yes, I talked about this earlier. If I'm going to trade away CMC, I need an elite player back. Like, I need a very, very good player back. Like, I'm not expecting like CD Lamb or anything like that, but I need like a Rashee Rice, a DK Metcalf, a Chris Olave, a Kyron Williams if you want a running back. I need like a very good player back. Otherwise, I'm just holding.
Right. Don't sell low. You know.
All right. Soul Assassin just said he's sending it, so it's coming.
All right. We saw that one. That's a good sign. Brian Guadarrama with another one. Ooh, drop Mostert, Odunze, or Keenan Allen for Terry.
Mostert. Drop Mostert. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Terry McLaurin's on the waivers? Yeah, drop Mostert for Terry, 100%.
You could drop Mostert, absolutely. I mean, even if he comes back, look at the state of this Dolphins offense. And then who knows this year, the way it's going, maybe Jalen Wright becomes the backup. And, yeah. You could drop Mostert. I mean, yeah. Drop Mostert. All right, let's do. Let's see. Let's do one we haven't talked about yet. Anybody we haven't talked about? Is that possible?
Probably
not. This is did we do? I don't think we did. Oh yeah, we think we did do that one. All right. How about Antonio's channel? Cooper or Pickens?
I'm going Cooper again this week. It looks like another spot where he could boom again. I'm going Cooper.
Yeah, I'm not giving up on George Pickens, but at the same time, I'm going to utilize him strategically. I think Cooper is in a better spot this week. Let's go, Cooper. All right, Soul Assassin. We're waiting.
It's like, that's how I picture Soul Assassin, like typing this question.
Yeah. How about let's do. There it is. Twice. Okay. Does need help because he's 0-3. Full PPR starters are AR, Taylor, Mason, CD, Moore, Bowers, Diggs. Bench, Aaron Jones, Tank, Laporta, Pickens, Dobbins, Darnold, Purdy, Caleb, and okay. So Purdy, Caleb, and Gino are available.
Grab Caleb. Grab Caleb for Anthony. Don't drop Anthony Richardson, but grab Caleb, bench Anthony Richardson. And I know you think Diggs could boom this week, but I like Aaron Jones a lot. I think I'm putting Aaron Jones in over Diggs.
Oh, yeah. No, I like Aaron Jones better, too. You have Mason and Taylor, and you have CD. You have good players, and Bowers has been one of the better tight ends. So I'm surprised you're 0-3.
Right. It's probably like Anthony Richardson has been killing him.
Yeah, Moore should go off this week. So your lineup is good.
Yeah.
Laporta has been killing you.
Yeah, he's probably started Laporta over Bowers. Probably AR's been killing you. Moore's probably been killing you. Yeah. But I would put Aaron Jones in over Diggs. Yeah, you have a good team.
Yeah, don't give up. So, yeah, you can bench AR, teach him a lesson, and you can put in Aaron Jones at the flex. There's Ralphie. Ralphie came through, too.
All right.
3 receiver, 2 running back. Got Josh Allen, Chase, J.J. Smith. Okay. Ramondre Singletary, flex, Jameson Williams on the bench. Got Walker and Mixon and Najee Smith. You got a really good team. Just running backs are hurt. Got offered Chase for Kamara.
No, I'm keeping Chase here. Maybe I'm wrong about Kamara, but I really think we're going to start to see the decline of Kamara here in a few weeks. So, yeah, keep Chase.
Not saying it's going to happen, but 2-0, best team in the league. New Orleans Saints might seem like a one of those fun things. You're like, hey, remember when that happened? We thought they were going to be the best team in the NFL. Like Mike just saying, no, don't trade Chase. And let's make this the official. Okay, I can say that when we got another. Steve Narciso, trade Hill and Steele for Rice and Cook.
Yeah, just give me Rice and Cook, honestly. You're getting such a huge running back upgrade. I mean, yes, sure, when Hill comes back, maybe you're like, oh, I wish I had Hill, but Rice is good enough, and you're getting a huge running back upgrade with James Cook. Give me Rice and Cook.
Right. You're getting two really good players for one, basically. So, yes. And then Chef and Nabi. Chef and Nabi. I should see there's a chef hat.
Yeah, that chef guy.
Chef and Nabi just traded CMC and Sutton for Jacobs.
I mean, if CMC doesn't come back, you're going to be loving this, but I feel like you could have maybe gotten a little bit more.
Agree. It doesn't overwhelm me. Like, well, I mean, you got Jacobs. That's good. And maybe you need Jacobs, so that's fine. I don't think it's bad. But you're obviously hoping CMC doesn't come back full throttle in like mid-season. So right now to win. All right. And let's give HM the last word today. See? 2-6, won a league. You guys, it's way too early. Don't panic. 0-3, 1-2. No. Don't worry. It's way early. A lot of things that you think are set in stone are absolutely not. So don't worry about it. And of course, don't give up. Stay with us every week throughout the season. And we'll be back again to stream tomorrow. And we got some football tomorrow. Don't forget, got that Cowboys-Giants game. You can definitely, you want to make sure your lineup is set. And you take advantage of this. If you haven't already, don't forget, underdog. Get this free pick of Dak Prescott. Just getting a yard. Dak Prescott, go higher. If you're new, you get this freebie, and you also still get that deposit match. So don't wait. Oh, we got another super chat. We'll do that in a second, although I think we already answered that one. But again, guys, try Underdog if you haven't already. So make sure you use code ENDGAME if you are going to try it out. If you're thinking about it, okay, let's see what it's about. Sign up, use ENDGAME as your code, so that gets you the deposit match plus the free pick. All right. And of course, we have another one. Stupid RuneScape.
All right.
JMO or JSN?
I think it's got to be JSN this week. Good matchup for JSN out of the slot against Detroit. Bad matchup for Jameson Williams against those Seattle corners.
I'm big on JSN. I know didn't do much last week, but I'm got faith in him. This is going to be a really tough decision week to week for you. This week, I think it's JSN. All right, guys, we appreciate you sticking with us. And we'll see you on the next one, which will be in less than 24 hours. Don't forget, like, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out all the videos coming out.